So, you wake up, there's an ache in your ribs. Oof, the ankle. Oh, that's more swollen than it was. Bit of sunlight coming in through the window. It's a different hue than it used to be in those early morning hours. That color, there's not a name for it. Strange. Is that just normal now? Who knows? You can hear the sound of activity downstairs. You feel rested, but yesterday was rough.
Sal will slowly, with a groan, kick his legs off the side of the bed, start to stretch, and then catch a stitch in his side. Having the light cast on his hands sounds downstairs. Now, what is normal now, anyway? He'll try to stand up a little too fast, catch himself on a bedpost, and then much more carefully, realizing how sore he is, start heading down.
We'll say it's before too long. You've made it through the morning routine. Maybe checking to see if there's any help that needs to be done at the docks. But you catch a glimpse on the adjacent street. Shalati's making her way into town for the first time today.
Oh, what happened with that thing that I had messaged you about?
Oh, let me double check that real quick. Yeah, I liked that one. I liked that option that I had mentioned. In terms of details about that, let me message you.
Because I totally need time to figure out how I'm gonna say anything to Shalati.
Okay.
Boy, we're getting into it.
I like how Charlotte has become like a horror specter looming in the distance.
Her justified anger.
I don't want to be responsible for Casey's death. What do I say?
I mean, honestly, this is the thing I've been looking forward to all week.
Just to reiterate, Casey and the kids know what happened.
I think a few of the other party members who arrived there first also know. At least the basic stuff.
Peach knows.
And Peach.
Hey,
But the dynamite use, I don't think anybody truly knows except for the kid.
yeah, I think the other players know that there was a collapse at the ruins. And Casey and the kids, they know what happened in the cave. They're not.
Shalati has not heard news about what happened, but Yev did come home a little late and was pretty evasive about where he'd been.
Spidey senses tingling.
Her mom sense.
If this is the morning, then Shalati having done her usual round of morning stuff and disposed of some things, she makes her way to the town. Not really sure where everyone might be at this time, but she probably stops by the Physicers first to see if Ava is home, or not home, but where one might normally find her.
Yeah, we'll say you're on the way there when you run into Sal.
Okay. Saul, I think, is fairly unmistakable, or at least as a verbal. And when she sees him, her steps quicken a little bit, and Just raises a hand. Salinger?
Oh, morning, Shalati. How's Yev?
He's fine. It seems came home very late last night.
Oh, good.
Why do you ask?
I busted my ankle up pretty bad, falling down a hole, and he helped me limp along for a while.
What? Why did you fall down a hole? And why was he there? He made no mention of this to me.
I don't know if that's all my story to tell. I'm just checking in. Did you end up finding? You were trying to track down. Cipher and folks with the cursed objects and all that. Took you a while. He looks visibly nervous.
I did not find Cyprid. She can be very hard to find, as you probably know. She might be out and about, which is concerning. I heard. Would the bell have been audible from the ranch? Because it rang yesterday, right?
Yeah, I'm imagining that the Cadney Ranch is kind of on the outskirts of town a little bit because it's so much land.
Yeah.
That you.
I was thinking it was like maybe a mile or mile and a half, like a good 20, 30 minutes walk.
Yeah, like I'm thinking maybe you wouldn't hear the bell from the ranch.
Strange things. And after I could not find her after 30 minutes, so I went back to the ranch to make sure everything was all right after that strange sky in the morning. And she looks for the sky, which I assume this morning had also had that strange sunrise color. And
yeah, and the sunrise, the color of the sunrise has changed to something else. It doesn't last very long into the morning, just an hour or two. And then when the sun's high enough, it just looks like the normal sky again.
why do you seem nervous?
Oh, what?
Her arms fold and she starts to tap her foot a little bit.
Come on now, don't get impatient. Give me a second to think about how to describe it first. Things are strange lately. Yeah. It's like just trouble after trouble, problem after problem the last few days. I want to stack more on for.
Salinger Xavier Morrell, what happened to you? And something seems to have happened yesterday. And she looks down at the splinted foot. That is making you very nervous. And I would know why.
Upon the moment of her starting to say his middle name, he freezes and stiffens and looks like a board. Shakes and then relaxes when he hears Xavier. All right. Well, okay. You know our hangout spot, the ruins. A lot of good memories there.
Sure.
It kind of collapsed into a big old hole. Casey may have been partially responsible for it. I'm not sure. Particularly, your brother fell down there with him. I tried to save him, and then
What?
Yeah, it's fine. Everybody turned out fine.
Why was Yiv there at the same time as Casey? What was Casey doing at the ruins?
Like I said, I don't have the whole story. That's why I didn't want to be the one to have to tell you. But then you went and used all three names.
How did he? Oh, God, he went back and dug up the explosive, didn't he?
Everybody turned out all right. But hey, there's some real weird, interesting stuff down there. At least there's some silver lining. Some weird ball of black goo rolled at us.
Why Yev would not. So she was talking at the same time, mostly to herself, as Sal is like going on about the ball of black goo. Go on.
That's not all that happened. Rhea passed out from that cursed ring. She wasn't, well, necklace. I forget which one she has. It was a rough day, Shalati. I'm all banged up.
And she turns around and then stops and then looks back at Sal, actual concern passing over her face, and says, where are you headed to? Do you need like an arm to get to there? And she like holds out an arm. Or then she realizes that he's taller and just like offers up a shoulder and said,
Yeah, I was going to check on Rhea. They didn't need me really at the docks. I'm not much use right now.
wait, what happened to Rhea? And then we can stop it there.
All right. Rhea, you wake to the sound of a quill scribbling on paper. You remember running. You were chasing after Sheriff Hain, and then you start to feel a little lightheaded, and you're in the Physiker now. Glancing around, you can see it must be morning, judging by the light coming in through the window. Ava seems to be writing something. You see Esmond and Beth asleep in chairs beside the table that you're on.
Kind of with a squeak of the table, I like roll to my side towards Ava. What? Okay, but what happened?
Oh, you're awake. And she writes down the time, sets it aside, and pulls her chair, still sitting in it, sort of a little bit closer to where Rhea is sitting at the bed. And she begins looking her over as she talks. How are you feeling?
I don't think I'm not worse for wear. So we're really actually cursed then, huh? She like starts to sit up.
Well, I don't know if we have quite enough to prove that conclusively, but
I don't faint. I don't usually faint, Ava. Like I fainted, right? Like it's for how long? Like a half hour?
It's been 2 years.
What?
Joking.
Ava!
That probably wakes Esmond and Beth up.
Oh, okay. Everything's fine. We're okay. Is everything okay? No. All right.
Oh, she's awake.
You're up.
She just turns to notice you two kind of like lounging.
You notice that both of us are probably covered in dirt.
What happened?
More than just dirt. I'm covered in soot as well.
There's a knock at the door.
Oh, Esmond, Beth, when you get that?
Yeah, I'll get it. Do you have any Hakeem anywhere here?
It's in the corner.
Okay, great. And Esmond will get up and go get the door.
Yeah, it's Sal and Shalati.
Hey, guys. How you feeling, Sal?
You look worse than I do. Hey, Rhea's up. As he kind of pushes past us just a little bit.
Sal, did you did you catch the sheriff?
Oh no. Went off riding on his goat. Can't catch a goat at full speed.
She kind of looks at Kabeth and no, Kabeth wasn't with us. And
What about the sheriff on a goat?
His trusty riding goat. He just gallops around that thing around town on a regular basis.
Wait, so he left town right when we needed him the most?
Well,
what did we need the sheriff for more than the rough guts?
Well, I'll catch you up on it. Yeah, at first, yes, I don't know if we can say that we're definitely cursed, but there did seem to be a very distinct symptom at about the 24th hour, so that's important to note.
I
As
jumped
far
really,
as-
really, really high. I can run really fast and jump really high. I don't know. I think it's great. I mean, the whole fainting thing's not great, but
Yeah, fainting less great. Fainting for all night. I just got sleep. Do I feel okay? Like, do I actually feel okay?
Yeah, you actually don't feel too bad. You, probably when you put your hand on the table, you feel there's a little thump, and you realize you're wearing the ring.
Okay. Yeah, jewelry is not. Yeah.
we
Cursed.
put it back on as a precaution, you seem to be improving.
Yeah, no, thanks. Well, the test was faster than I thought it would be. I thought I would have. Well, didn't your book say like 3 days he deteriorated? I'm a wimp!
It was 3 days until death. Deterioration happened rapidly.
Okay, cool. I'm really glad I'm not dead. I'm at least that strong. I bet you can run and jump, but you could run and jump like
yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was already a good jumper. Like,
Yes.
I'm Satyr. I can jump pretty far, but now I can like really jump. I can jump so high.
How high?
Chris, how high did I jump? I can't remember.
Really high.
You described me like house high.
You probably remember it higher than it actually was. There's a knock at the door.
Esmond's still
Charlotte is going to
standing
go
near the
answer
door.
it. Oh, okay.
It's Peach.
I assume she probably. Oh, okay.
Hey,
Where
Miranda,
even
She
is
looks
everyone?
outside and then
you
steps
guys are at the Physiker. Miranda gave you a whole. You've got a whole basket of breakfast pies.
Oh, great. Hey, everybody okay? You just waiting to be let in.
I can jump as high as a house now.
A house. Are you okay though? You look.
Yeah, everyone's
Did you-
doing okay. Why don't you come in?
Wait, whose house? That's a range.
I don't know.
Any
like,
house is
Oh,
kind
Rhea,
of
all right.
incredible.
we can test out and find out.
Pete starts passing up breakfast hot pockets.
I would
This
like to note
sounds
that apparently the houses in Shepherd's Ends are built into the ground, so that's maybe not as
Yeah,
impressive.
so
as it
I can
sounds.
jump as high as a house. I was on my roof the other day.
But can you jump over it?
No one can jump that high, Beth.
That's
Oh,
that's
I'll
incredible.
show you later. I'll show you later.
No, I saw you before. You were running messages back and forth. Remember? Yeah.
No. Well, this is experimentation time later. Yeah, I'll show you. Don't worry.
Esmond is in the corner of the room, just sipping on a cup of Hakim, but not adding anything to the conversation. His eyes are just kind of he's got tunnel vision. He's just looking off into the distance as he's listening to everyone.
At some point, Peach would kind of grab Shalati's arm and say, "Your brother, is he all right? He's not here right now. No."
He's fine.
Chris, out of character, is the person who was taken ill with fever or poison somewhere in the room?
Yeah.
Fennel.
Fennel is still there. Has not seemed to awaken. Seems to still be feverish.
Okay, no improvement, still the same.
Yeah, you've probably got him like in a side room, maybe behind a curtain or something.
Fennel was one of
What
the
is-
kids in the thing. I'm sorry, I need a little bit of a rundown.
Yeah, Fennel is one of the teenagers in the town. Younger than you guys by 3-4 years.
Halfling, right?
Fennel's
Goliath, I thought.
Yev's the
that was
Goliath.
Yev's Goliath. Fennel.
Oh, I thought they were.
Fennel halfling. Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
I know Timmo was a halfling.
Charlotte has definitely been like looking everyone over, scanning them very carefully to see if they look tired. I mean, or unusually weak or injured or anything otherwise.
Beth's covered in soot. Esmond's a little dirty. Sal's bandaged up. What are yours with, Sal?
Well, Ava would have done it. So I suppose linen cloth around the ankle with a brace or a support, because you started to make me a splint.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Peach is not wearing her favorite skirt. That's strange.
She looks over everyone and says, "So, where is Casey? And did he come out all right?"
He's all right. He's alive last I left him. But, are you gonna kill him?
She just cracks her knuckles. Do you know where he is?
Are you gonna kill him?
Silence.
I can't participate.
No, I don't
in
know
this.
where he is, Shalati, but I wouldn't tell you either. You are a woman I do not want to make mad.
Would that everyone felt the way you do?
I too feel that way.
She pats Salinger on the shoulder absently without looking at him.
I need to step out. No, before I do, Esmond puts down his the cup that I was drinking from, and he pulls out his notebook from his satchel. Kibeth, you said that you can run and jump much higher, further, faster than you usually can, right?
Kabeth, you hear Esmond, of course, but you're a little bit distracted because the scent of those breakfast pies has reached you, and you are hungrier than you can remember being. They smell so good. Are they usually smell that good?
She is like in the middle of stuffing one into her mouth as you ask her this, and she turns to you and her mouth full. She's really fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think you need to have a discussion with Ava later today about any of your symptoms, including, I think, your appetite, because you'd mentioned that previously. Doc, have you had any weird effects from the circlet that you've noticed?
Yeah, definitely. I had the moment where now I feel like I can just perceive everything a lot easier, and I can see in the dark.
So Doc has super sight and super senses, and Kibeth can jump over houses that are taller than our houses. This is fabulous. These are cursed objects. Yeah, why would you ever want to take one of these at all, Faraya?
Well, do you want your entire life revolving around a single item that could be taken from you?
All right, that's fair enough. Just kind of jealous I don't have one.
Kabeth, you finished that first breakfast pie, and that's usually enough to fill you up. You are still hungry.
I don't think we should be playing with these things. As it is, they are, as you mentioned, cursed items, not toys.
Well, but
If things come upon you without your trying them, then I suppose there's nothing to be done for it, but things are strange right now, not just the sky or new holes in the ground or cursed items. When they went back to the ranch yesterday, one of the sheep ewes had begun to give birth before she was supposed to be. What came out had too many eyes and no limbs. Its organs were attached to the outside of its skin. They are both dead. We burned the creature just in case.
When did that happen?
yesterday.
You didn't lead off with that this morning when you saw me.
Well, it is dead, and it's gone. So you could wait a little bit, and I do not like repeating myself.
How big were its feet?
Did head done?
Okay, that's disturbing. That's a disturbing turn of events. Have you told anyone about that yet?
No, that was one of the things I was going to ask the teacher. I don't know if he would have much to say, though, given as he did not have much to say about the items either, or the sky, or anything else going on.
I need to check on Fennel, but Shalati, can I go with you at some point to check on the other animals, the parents, and I'll just do some routine notes to see if there's anything just to document, if nothing else.
Please do.
And she sort of starts to walk towards where Fennel is. Araya?
You're on the way towards... Oh, sorry, did I interrupt something? Oh. Okay. Yeah, you start to move towards where Fennel is resting on the other side of the curtain, and it slides open. Fennel's standing there. Hi. What's going on?
Oh, Fennel, how are you? Please,
He kind of pulls
take
a
us.
blanket around himself.
Yeah, actually, just come with me back in the room. I just have some questions. I'm sure, how are you feeling? This is. She's caught off guard by seeing.
John. Okay. We went looking for help. Glances around. Wait. Where's Yev?
Oh, everyone's safe. But so everyone's fine, and everyone made it out, and you're back at the physical office, and everyone's okay. I just have some questions for you. I need to look you over before you should leave. So can you just come with me in the other room, please?
Okay, everyone's okay?
Mm-hmm. Everyone's fine.
Okay, good. Yeah. What do you want me to say?
Okay, and she starts to direct him sort of probably off to the side, so she's not trying to do the examination around in a room with everybody, because she's going to make him get naked. I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Shalati's definitely going to bear down on Fennel while Ava is doing her examination of him. Just like looming over him.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say, yeah, Ava's like doing the exam, and Shalati, his eyes kind of widen as you approach. Oh, hi.
So what did Casey say exactly to get you to go to the ruins and be there? What happened exactly?
Shalati, you're affecting his heart rate.
That's undeniably true.
Breathe slowly.
Yeah, Casey needed help. With some preparations for the festival, we were going to gather some stone. And he had a. I mean, he had one of those things.
One of those sticks that goes boom.
Yeah, it was so cool. But, and then, well, yeah, and then we woke up and, we needed help and we couldn't get out, and, well, I went left, Yev went to the right, and we were trying to find somebody to help.
What's the last thing that you can remember? We found you after you'd been separated. Yeah, so what's the last thing you remember?
Oh. I think there was, Oh, I'd found like a... Yeah, it's the strangest thing. I remember I went left, and yeah, I went right. I don't remember what happened after that.
Do you remember coming to a chamber or anything down a corridor?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I remember that or I could just picture it because you described it. I don't know.
That's fair. Well, I won't lead you on anymore. If you start to remember anything, let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to do another physical exam. We had to do this while
Do you
you were
guys have any
unconscious.
food? I'm actually really hungry.
Oh, yeah, as soon as I get done looking everything over, we have some sandwiches for breakfast, something that
Yeah,
Peach
that smells like breakfast pies. Can you save me one?
She looks over at Kabeth. Maybe.
Kabeth is currently like eyeing like the last two, and she's like,
Salate takes a couple of steps over and just like picks up two of them. Starts to eat one.
You take the last two? Okay.
Yeah. I keep one for him, but I'm eating the other one.
Okay.
Can you not coerce my patience?
What do you mean? I am hungry.
She eyes the one that has yet to be bitten into, says nothing, and continues with the examination.
you might notice that Kabeth is like covered in crumbs, like just she's covered in soot and crumbs, just a complete mess, and she's like trying to like slyly like swipe them off so nobody can tell how many she ate. There's a pile of crumbs on the floor.
Esmond is going to sidle up to Sal, kind of elbow him gently, just to get his attention.
As you do that, he was handing Kabeth a handkerchief and then looks at you.
Hey, can you step over here for a second with me? I just come here for a second.
He doesn't say anything. He just follows you.
When we're a little bit away, just under, quietly whispering. I mean, it's obvious, but hey, I gotta step out for a little bit. I need to go look into something. If you guys go anywhere, would you leave a note or something so that I can find you? That give the note to Teridian or something, and so that he can let me know where you guys are headed.
Yeah, sure. You want to let us know where you'll be if we need to find you?
Well, I don't know where I'm going to be. I need to go find. I'm going to go look for one of the fabricators. I need to. Something isn't right, or something isn't adding up for me. I need to. I'm not trying to cause any alarm yet, so I'm just going to go talk with one of them before I say anything to you guys. While I'm gone, don't let Kibeth out of your sight. Don't let her. I think whatever that curse item that she has is doing to her, it's weirdly affecting her, and we need to figure out what is happening exactly. And I'm just worried about her going off on her own, and he like peers around Sal, getting covered in more soot at the bare minimum.
Look at her while you're talking about her.
She knows I'm concerned. If it isn't obvious, I think we're all a little concerned about everyone with one of these items.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, just keep an eye on her. I'm gonna head out. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Well, be safe, man. Don't do anything. Don't do anything Casey would do.
And then he peers around, looks at Shalati. I think that's the last thing I want to do. But yeah, same to you. You should probably get some proper bandages put on you at some point as well.
That's rude. Ava did these, but I'll ask her to touch them up a little bit.
Probably wise, and he'll smack, gently smack at your ribs and then walk out the door.
Yeah. See you later. Yeah.
As the door closes, Casey. Some people say it looks like two fish, but it's very clearly, it's obviously two people fighting. Statues, that is, in stone. What you doing?
Yeah, Casey is perched atop of them, kind of laying back in a lounging position. He kind of lets out a sigh, looks down at the freshly turned soil that used to house a whole box of dynamite. Looks back up to the sky and just kind of nods his head and puts his hands behind his head as he sits back enjoying the breeze, closes his eyes.
Casey! You hear a little hushed shout coming from an alleyway nearby.
Yeah, he'll open one eye and the other. Look over.
The fighting stones, were they pretty far from town?
Yeah, I don't think they were near an alley.
Okay. We'll just say,
An alley suddenly appears.
Well, we'll just say from some nearby tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
Casey!
Yev?
Glance over to Yev. He looks around nervously, makes his way over to you. Hey.
Casey will jump down and straighten up next to Yev and kind of hit on both of his arms and say, "You look taller."
Oh, yesterday was crazy.
It was quite the day, wasn't it? How are you feeling?
Oh, I am okay, but Shell's come to town, and I'm trying to find everyone. You can't tell her what happened. She's going to be so mad.
Casey starts to speak on 3 separate occasions. Shalati will Yes, perhaps it is better if we keep that between us.
Yeah, you got to tell the others. She can't know anything. That holds us my grave.
Grave? I mean, did you not come out of there feeling more alive than you've ever felt?
Oh, it is exhilarating, but not if I'm dead. Not if she cut my head off.
Shalati can be quite, but she is reasonable. She will understand.
Oh, she's not. She's going to beat me.
If she's upset with you.
I heard she killed that pregnant sheep just this morning.
And that I don't know anything about. Simply explain to her that the experience you had down there was life-changing. We can invite her next time we go.
You're very brave. You're very brave, my friend. Okay, I'm going to go find the others. Maybe they will help. Okay.
Yev.
Hey.
You do seem a little taller.
He kind of puts out a hand to
Yeah.
clapped hands. He runs off.
Yeah, he'll climb back up and kind of just lounge a bit longer.
Esmond, you find Gretchen, the fabricator, has been in the town for several months now, sitting at the bar in the Wanderlust. Early in the morning to be at the bar. There's a glass in front of her, so an inch of amber liquid in it.
How familiar am I with Gretchen?
You've kind of poked her brain a few times about magic things.
Esmond will approach. Gretchen, hey, good morning.
No. Esmond, hello.
What is she old? What's her what race is she?
Yeah, she's an old tabaxi gray hair, kind of matted, kind of needs a brushing. She has a notch in one ear. Whiskers, kind of crooked whiskers, and she gestures the chair, stool next to her. Have a seat.
Esmond will take the seat. Hi, Miss Gretchen. How are you today?
She kind of raises her glass a little bit and takes a drink. It's like early morning.
Okay, so seems like everyone in the town has had better days. Does it have anything to do with the news that the mayor told us about yesterday?
Well, those years of training. I've spent my whole life making things for people. Now, it don't work anymore. What are these old hands gonna do? What are they gonna do now? Huh?
Fuck, this is not what Esmond came here for. Shit. I mean, we'll figure it out. It's whatever could be the cause. There's got to be a solution to it. There's always a solution to every situation, right?
Well, if there is, it's beyond my knowing.
I'm curious because I don't know if I fully understand. Granted, I don't know if you do either. But what happened precisely? Did everything just stopped working that uses magic? Just magic stopped?
Not all of it, I don't think. It's that morning. The ground shook, and then the sunrise. Like I've never seen before. My magic doesn't work. And the givers too. They couldn't make the food. I thought it might just be me, that I'd done something wrong. But it's all of us.
It's everyone so.
And I'm no wizard, Esmond. That's all I've got, is my making.
How have the fabricators worked before? I understand that there's a touch of magic that's involved in the technology, but what?
No, it is magic. I was trained just for that. To help people make their homes, mend the walls, make the gears. All of those things. All my life. I didn't think it would go away.
Do you not have any tools or items that have magical abilities to assist you at all?
No, it comes from the training. You know, in my young days, I trained in the capital, all the way in the west.
There has to be some some exceptions, though. I mean, for all magic everywhere to suddenly no longer be available, that doesn't...
Well, I don't know that that's true. Maybe it's just here in town. But me, I've kept trying again and again ever since it didn't work. I can't make it work. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm worried, Esmond. Remember you used to come around and ask me all kinds of questions, how to make things, even making stuff, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to, at least. Miss Gretchen, is it possible that the magic disappearing, is it possible that we don't know that magic has disappeared everywhere. So it must be feasible then that there's a chance that magic still exists, right? Like there's a possibility that items or people can still perform magic, right?
Maybe so. The mayor said he's going to send Sheriff Hain to Muirwood and see if everything's the same there. Or maybe they've got some news. Maybe the capital sent word.
Out of character, where is Tamirwood in relation to Shepherd's Inn?
She's at 2 Muirwood, but Muirwood is a city. It's about a week to the west. The train stops there before it comes to Shepherd's End. Train's supposed to come tomorrow, and then Sheriff Hain will go there, and we'll see what's going
on. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm pestering you, Miss Gretchen, but
No, I don't mind.
How do you make the fabricators work? What is it that you... How do you infuse your magic into them to make it work?
Well, I'm a fabricator, trained in the capital, and there I learned to shape the beginnings of something into something new. Just like if you give me a stone, I can make it into something else. As long as I know the way. Or metal, I can make horseshoes for the rams. And the horses, I suppose. Otherwise, why would they be called horseshoes?
It's a strange exotic name they only use in other lands.
If you had access to a pool of magic, or somebody had access to a pool of magic, would you be able to instruct them on how to infuse that energy into the fabricators to make them work again?
Out of character. Fabricator is a name for a person who fabricates. So the givers are people who make the food. The fabricators are people who fabricate things. But back in character. I don't quite know about all that. Like I said, Esmond, I'm not a wizard. What I learned is very specific. I had a way to help people, a way to make their lives better. And, well, I guess maybe that's over now. But I know how to work. I know how to work with wood and metal and stone. But all these old hands, too old to wield a hammer. I never thought it would go away.
Regardless of your magic, Miss Gretchen, you've always treated this village well. You've done more than enough for us. Magic or no, you've earned yourself a rest, I think, and I believe that that's what you should take advantage of right now. Rest and try not to worry about the magic. Maybe it'll come back. Who knows? Strange things these days, right?
Yeah, kind boy, Husband Clockright. Yeah, kind boy.
You can probably blame my parents for that one. I'm going to, I need to leave, but I wanted to come ask you some questions. I was curious. I want to hear it directly from you.
Okay, well, come back later if you want to do some shots.
Oh, okay. Absolutely, Miss Gretchen. Yep. Sounds like a plan.
I don't need magic. Drink you under the table.
Oh, okay. Desmond will head out
Shots fired.
Desmond will head out and look when he's outside the bar. He'll just. She probably could drink me under the table. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and he's going to walk off. I'll message you where he's going next.
Okay. Back in the Fizziker, presumably, unless you've kept it from him. Fennel, he's like eating one of the breakfast pies. Oh, so good.
Like extra good today, right?
Beth, did you try the strawberry?
Yeah, I tried them all. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
I have a 30-second flavor thing that I want to try to add.
Sure.
Ava, while he's eating, goes to check on the test results. I can do it in character, out of character, doesn't matter. Go ahead.
No, sure, go ahead.
Test results for Fennel, and assuming that anyone asks about it. If she doesn't, I'll just walk through it out of character. She goes to 2 different devices, and if someone had asked, she would be explaining how they work. And the first one is what appears to be a very basic centrifuge, in that it has a series of tubes with fluids inside of them, and they're all attached to little wooden arms, and then with a little bit of a crank, they just kind of all go around. And that's the basic test for poisons. They essentially check to match, and they'll turn a different color depending on what they are. But the town also has a more advanced test, which is that, and Chris, you can stop me if you don't like any of these things, the more advanced test. And the more advanced test, they have a machine that you sort of wind up, and it does just a little bit of a shock onto a piece of fluid, and then they compare the fractals of that to this tome to get an idea of what poison it might be associated with in a more specific way, just based on the fractal patterns. Let me know if you like it.
Oh, I kind of love that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so to make sure that I understand the idea is that it gives a little shock, right? And you kind of wind it up, and it's like a little, or you wind up a spring, and then when it shocks it, the pattern that it makes if you're poisoned with these certain poisons that are in your tomes, you have a record of, it'll be in that pattern, so you'll know, like, oh, this was Nightshade, or does that make sense?
Yeah, it's exactly it. And so the basic test can get it in sort of a more broad way, but the more specific one, while not quite as, while it doesn't have quite as I mean, it has lots that they know, but it's still very specific. If they don't have that specific one, it wouldn't be in that tome. You would know what the fractal pattern was.
Right. Or you would get a new fractal pattern you've never seen before, and you can write it down. Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
So describe to us this happening, and probably in the background, Fennel and Kebeth are eating the last of their pies. While Ava's doing this, what are other people in the room doing? Or actually, give me the description first of Ava beginning this test, and then we'll kind of come back to it later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been, the first test has been operating by itself in the background. It's just sort of like it sort of spins on a small device that you just sort of.
Well, I would think normally the gear cables that kind of run through the town, like they turn cranks and mills and things like that. So you could just hook up to them and it would work. Okay. They're broken right now, but Mugwood and Gwen are working on fixing them. So you probably have to hand crank.
Okay. Yeah. So then in that case, you see that they have attached weights to these. So you start to wind them, and it's a bit like, you have a device that you manually sort of push it, and between the weights that are put on there and the way the device is set up, it's sort of like, this is terrible because I can't think of anything that's an old equivalent. The thing you use to dry lettuce, where you can like press on it to spin it really fast. It's sort of a manual version of the same thing. It starts to spin really, starts to spin.
Salad spinner's already pretty manual. Yeah. I think you're basically the same thing, but made of metal.
Yes, basically the exact same thing, and it just has weights on there to hopefully continue it so that you can spin it, and then you can like let it go for a little while, and then you can go spin it again, and it'll continue to go, something like that.
Nah, just crank it. Just sit there and crank it.
She has other tests. Yeah, and then the other one is the same way. It's you sort of just crank it. It would normally maybe be able to operate based on the manual systems, but instead you have to crank it by hand. But this one is a matter of you have to really crank it to get it all kind of wound up, and then until finally it does a little bit of a spark, and then you take that and let it sit for just a second, and then it's a very, very.
I kind of get it. So, but let's say this. Let's say you use the centrifuge first to separate the blood sample into like 3 different layers, and then you test each of those. And so it takes a little bit of time. So I'll come back to that.
Perfect.
And then, so Ava's kind of in the background doing that. The other people in the room, what are you guys up to?
Charlotte has slipped quietly out of the room.
Okay. Have you left the Fisker?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that Kebeth is deep in a conversation with, is it Fennel who's in the room, the brother?
Mm-hmm.
I think
he's not he's not Charlotte's brother, but he's just one of the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's deep in conversation about which of the breakfast pies is definitely the best flavor.
Nice.
And that they're in the background conversing about that and ranking them.
Nice. And then I think Rhea's in the room. Esmond and Sal, are you still in there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Sal and Rhea are still in there. And Peach.
Give me a second to go back to my computer. I'm chopping vegetables.
Okay.
I'm defending the use of a salad spinner. Like, of course. Yeah, everybody's used one of these.
Pretty sure salad spinner is like the bougiest device ever created.
That's true. I do only own 2.
It's like I don't just eat my lettuce, I send it to a fair first.
Literally never heard these things. You just wash lettuce and then you shake it. And then you make a salad.
Yeah, you put it in the spinner and you spin it so it dries for no reason. You could just shake it.
Yeah.
But it
Shake
gets it
the-
really dry, so you don't have like diluted.
California girl ain't educated like the rest of us is. Doesn't even know what a salad spinner is.
I don't think you can use that excuse because Atlanta is the longest I've ever lived in any one place.
That's very true, yeah.
Yeah, but Araya, Sal, Peach, what are you guys doing?
Does Fennel look sick at all at the moment? Like,
He looks like someone who just got over being sick. Like the fever just broke. He's a little red at the edges of his eyes, but like he seems to be in good spirits. Clearly, he's gotten his appetite back.
nice. So, the old ruins collapsed? And you all jumped in.
Oh, I wouldn't say we jumped. It's kind of like the ground just fell out from under us, and we were all down there, and well, we couldn't find Yep, so I went to look.
But then you're the only one here. What happened? Ava, Sal, what happened to Fennel?
Yeah, he kind of pauses and looks. Okay, he glances over at Sal.
I can only really make an assumption based on what we saw. Went to a big old room, found him just lying there, and saw this weird, dark, viscous substance, looked like old bad soup. And he was passed out next to it.
Pudding.
Oh, well, I
Pudding?
didn't know what it was called. I guess old pudding and old soup look similar, but pudding gets like a skin on it. It didn't look like that.
No, that's what
Pudding's delicious.
Ava's
No.
not there to correct him. He said soup.
Oh, yeah. She's not.
I
Is she?
figured the physics is not that
It
huge,
was
right?
in the room. Yeah.
She just
I
from the
like
back.
the idea of
Pudding!
you're doing the test and just holler pudding. Yeah, across
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she brought Hot Pockets.
They're called a pudding.
Oh,
Oh, right. So, yeah, the pudding started moving around a little bit.
Gross.
Yeah, it was real gross. I just kind of stood there.
Sorry, and I'm assuming based on stuff that you said, you gave Fennel antivenom. Like
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing that was left off with the physiker.
right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I assume he treated. We took samples and then began treatment and/or did mild treatments and are waiting for the results. I'm not sure which. Whatever the physiker would have done.
Okay, sounds good.
the session ended with an antivenoming being prepared with his blood.
Right. Okay, cool.
That's where the session ended.
Anyway, so there we were. Pudding was jiggling. Fennel was lying there.
Oh, that's so gross.
Fennel.
Yeah,
She
quit
like grabs
interrupting,
his
Fennel.
hand
It
and
was
holds.
gross. And then Casey provided a distraction. It zapped the thing, and it like broke into two, slithered off into the walls. We dragged Fennel right out of there. You actually probably would have found it interesting. The space where that pudding was looked a lot like some of the architecture at your temple. Reminded me of it at least a little bit. Shame you weren't there with being all passed out and all.
Oh man, you mean it was like a snake? Okay, and those guys, they kind of lean into the Garnet story. So Ava, in the background, I'm gonna have you make some medicine tests for how good you're able to analyze this stuff.
I'm gonna chop the rest of the carrots.
Nice. Yeah. So, you've got the serum separated in these three different little dishes, and you got to test the first one. Make a medicine chest as you can zap it with that little spark of electricity. Ooh, that is a 7 on the die, +1 for an 8. Yeah, there's a pattern there, but you're like, that one doesn't look familiar, and it's not symmetrical. Maybe that's.
Oh no, it's a 13. I don't know if that's any different because that's the thing she's best.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, that's better. Yeah, so there's zap. You're pretty sure. Yeah, not a poison. All right, that's dish number 1. Do dish number 2. That is a 17 on the die plus 3 for a dirty 20. Yeah, it kind of forms this pattern and you realize, oh no, that's normal. That's not a poison. Alright, and one more roll for dish number 3. Ooh, 18 on the die plus a 4. Yeah, you give that one a zap with the little thing, and the blood itself congeals into the shape and stands up kind of in the petri dish. Part of it kind of reaches out kind of towards your face and begins to crawl up your arm really quickly. Fennel starts to go into convulsions where he's sitting, starts spitting pie kind of out onto the ground.
Ava shrieks and
It's running up your arm towards your face.
No, she tries to throw it off, and with her hand, and then with her mind,
Okay.
instinctively.
Yeah, we'll say I'll give it to you for free. You grab onto the thing. There's immediate burning in your hand. You throw it across the room. It hits the wall. You can feel a scalding burn on your hand. And you felt it actually probably before in your studies, like a chemical burn. Fennel's gone into convulsions, kind of there at the counter.
I'm with Fennel. I was holding his hand.
She screams out for the physiker and rushes over to one of the compartments where there is a base powder to try to nullify what she thinks of as a chemical burn.
Okay, yeah, so you have a scrambling over for that drawer, you're digging through things. You guys see at the corner of the room, there's a yellow blob that's kind of on the wall, and now it's scurrying kind of towards the window.
Can I see if I can find like a empty jar or like glass cloche or something to drop it underneath?
Okay, yeah, you go running looking for there's a beaker nearby. You go running to grab it. Fennel is going like into convulsion. He starts to choke like he's coughing up something.
Ava yells out as she's holding her burning hand and pulling the drawers open, frantically getting the powder and the balm sort of ready for her hand. She shouts the orders to anyone in the room. Hold him down! Hold him down! Hold him down and make sure he doesn't swallow his tongue. Keep his head steady.
Yeah, Araya's there with Fennel.
You can swallow your own tongue?
No, he won't. Fennel, you're okay with us. Please
Quebec,
stay.
third drawer from the left.
Beth, you've got the beaker in your hand. Make a test for trying to get a hold of this thing.
What kind of test?
This is probably gonna be like your character's physical precision, like a dexterity kind of thing.
And we said for average skills a D4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 12.
Yeah, you actually you slam the glass down, and you kind of get it right on the edge. So part of it's inside and part of it's outside, and it wiggles around and splits in two. One of them stays in the glass. The other one scurries and goes under the windowsill.
Well, I've caught half of it. Is there another jar?
It's gotten under the windowsill, and it's you won't be able to reach it now.
Can I fly out the door and try to pursue it?
Yeah, you can definitely try. So you see, well, you're holding part of it against the wall right now. So if you let go of that, like you've got
I didn't
part
realize
of
it was on the wall.
I'll take it over from her. Peach is like freaking right there. Like go, you're fast. Get the thing.
Yeah,
get the
she's
other
just
thing.
gonna point, let you grab it. Is there another jar or something to quickly grab as I go out the door?
Yeah, you can grab another jar as you go running for the door. Sal, what are you doing?
Does it look like Fennel? Do we need help holding him down? Like, how violently is he convulsing?
He's convulsing violently.
Okay,
if I've got
his legs and body then to assist with Araya having his arm, so he doesn't like kick her in the gut and break loose.
Okay. She's whispering these prayers of like calming and healing from like her own faith while she holds him.
If Ava has slathered, I don't know if she's successfully put her hand in whatever yet, but
yeah, you managed to get the powder on your hand, and the burning's starting to slow.
As she does that, she's already focused on the next. She grabs a thing of cloth along with some liquid that she pours on top of it, and immediately moves to sort of go over where his face is, and the vapors are supposed to. What is it called when you knock someone out with a gas?
Like the chloroform.
Chloroform. Yes, it's a It's a
Is it
fantasy
ether?
chloroform.
Ether?
Sure, yeah, ether.
Ether.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
old timey chloroform.
Perfect, ether.
I'm here with your history facts.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, so Sal is helping to hold Fennel. Araya, you're like soothing him. And then Ava, you've come over and you're holding like the fumes kind of over his face. Fennel continues to convulse. You see his eyes roll back a little bit. He starts to cough and splatter, and you feel wet beneath the cloth. And there's bile that he's like vomiting up.
Okay. She thinks really quickly and recognizes the situation and thinks of something that she's never thought she would have to use before, and she rips down a tarp of sorts to sort of not tarp. I'm sorry. Give me just 1 second. I'm trying to think of all. I didn't expect for this.
Always be ready. Always be ready, Patrick.
Okay.
Meanwhile, outside, Kabeth, you've sped around the corner. Roll for me, if you would, like how sharp are Kabeth's eyes, senses. You're trying to spot something. It's hard to see.
I just rolled a nat 1.
Oh, no. You come sliding around the corner, dust kicked up. You look in that alley. You don't see it. It's gone. Back inside. Ava, what are you doing?
Okay. Yep. She...
While you're thinking, Peach, you're holding this beaker against the wall with this thing jiggling around inside of it, and smoke is starting to fill the inside of the glass. So it's like filled up with smoke now. You can't even see it anymore, but you can kind of feel it jiggling.
Is it getting warm, or I can feel it jiggling? I can see smoke.
It's not warm.
There's no one here to tell.
Yeah, you're in the room with everybody. They're all going crazy behind you because Funnel's...
Yeah, exactly. Peach just said, I know. I feel like an idiot if I said nothing. Something's going on with this slug thing. I still have it trapped, but you all need to focus on Fennel.
Okay. Ava, what are you doing?
Okay. The device she grabs is a headpiece that slides on over someone's head and goes into their mouth with a small flap. It will allow someone to vomit and for bile to come through it, but not fall backwards. And it is a containment device, basically, for someone who's profusely vomiting substances that might be contagious. That's the best I could come up with. I'm not really creative. It's been a long week.
Well, it says you're having just vomit kind of into a bag.
Yeah, there you go.
Helmet bag.
It's a vomit. There you go. It's a vomit bag, and then binders to help with
an airplane bag with it's got the behind the back elastic.
Yes. It's just a trough, and then binders, just things that to constrict around a person to take the place of what Sal is essentially doing. It just will replace that to help hold somebody down.
Okay, sounds good. So you're working. You've put the bag on. There's got like a thing you tied behind his head, so you don't have to hold it there for him. And then, and you're moving to help Sal. He's already vomited like a lot. It's just bile all over his shirt and everything. But this will help, sure. You and Sal working together, working to get the binders around his ankles. A few moment passes. Araya speaking calmly to him, and he stops convulsing.
Sal, Araya, if he's strapped down, I need some help here.
I'll watch him. Sal, can you help Peach, and she looks at Araya. What'd you do?
Well, there are prayers, especially.
Is this not working?
No, we can hear you. But I want to interject a little bit. When Ava goes to ask you what you did, you know, maybe from your experiences, that him stopping to convulse is not necessarily good.
I don't think this is a good thing. Something is deeply wrong.
Oh, shit.
What did you do? What started this? He was fine a second ago.
I just was checking to see what he consumed, his blood, to see what the ailment was or what the poison was. We assumed he was poisoned or there was venom or something. Is that... Oh, no. Is that pudding inside him?
And so as Ava asks that, you see all of the gray bile that's all over his shirt and the ground next to him. You see it starts to drift toward itself. And makes a little ball on the ground like mercury gathering together.
Sal will immediately throw a coat or a shirt or whatever clothing he has on top of it to try and contain it, to see what happens.
Yeah, you throw maybe a little blanket on top of it. And whoever's in the bag that's still attached to Fennel, there's something jiggling around inside the bag.
Oh, no. Okay. Everyone run.
Run, we gotta contain
Run!
it.
No, we've got Fennel!
Peach, you feel the jar in your hand you're holding against the wall stops jiggling.
It's not moving anymore. Mom.
Kabeth, you've probably made it back inside. No.
Does the rest of the room, like, they're still, like... How did it look when Sal threw the blanket over it? Did it seem to work?
We can't tell. There's a blanket over it.
Alright, but it wasn't, like, immediately thrown off.
What did... you said Ez did something that... You said Ez did something to the pudding.
He zapped it, pissed it off, split it in two.
Do we have something to zap it with?
We don't want to split it in two.
Well,
Case you fire at it.
Smoke starts to rise up from under the blanket.
Case Ava goes for one of the candles and tries to grab a piece of cloth and start to make a makeshift torch.
I don't think the blanket's gonna hold it. He starts looking for something with glass.
Yeah. Stay away from it. That burns. If it touches your skin, it's going to burn you. Bad.
I've got a half pint of it up here against the wall. Should I just let it go, or...?
We shouldn't let it go.
The jiggling under the blanket stopped, and the jiggling in the beaker pressed against the wall stopped.
I'm opening the blanket.
You pull the blanket away. There's a hole in the floor.
Oh, gosh darn it.
Yes.
Look at the wall! Look at the wall!
Peach pulls the beaker down.
There's a hole in the wall.
Ah, yeah.
It didn't like fire. Get something for fire and raise the alarm.
Smoke starts to leak out from the bag that's on Funnel.
Oh no. Peach, here, take this, make this. And she goes to check on him and see what's under his face, under the bag.
You start to mess with the bag and you see a hole starting to get eaten in the bottom of the bag.
Oh no, and she steps away from it, not even being able to touch it.
Yeah, it just kind of drops and plops down on the ground, kind of like kind of limply. It starts to kind of almost like right itself slowly.
Get fire, and she's gonna help Peach or do whatever to try to make a torch.
Yeah, I'll go get... Yeah. Just light the blanket on fire.
All right.
I think I'd be back by now, because if I lost it, I would have turned around.
Oh, no, yeah, I was saying you might have missed it. I said you've come back into the room now.
Oh, I did miss it, sorry.
I think as soon as you open the door, Sal would yell at you, "Go get help."
Or warn someone. Fire! Everybody needs to have torches lit.
You see the one that's on the ground next to Fennel. It's almost like it's like kind of getting it. There's something about it. It seems like it's getting up from having been upside down. That's almost like a turtle getting over from its back. That's the impression you get, and you've made the torch at this point.
Who's in charge of the town? Is it a mayor? Right? Is that what we're calling him?
The mayor's in charge of the town. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'll go tell the mayor, and I run out the door.
Yeah, I light the torch,
All right.
and
The
start
torch
to.
bursts into flames.
She starts to wave it like she saw Casey do in the cave.
All right, yeah, you
Towards
wave the torch back and forth at it, and it seems to back away.
She's gonna try to poke it with the fire.
No, you stick the torch on it, and you hear almost like a squeal, a sizzling sound. Maybe it's just the sound of something popping and boiling, but it almost sounds like screaming. And then poof, the thing ignites into flames.
Grab fire! We have to find the other pieces. And she's just gonna look around the room and start trying to, all the little things that are moving, try to do the same thing.
Well, they've all congealed together they had all congealed together into the one, and then Sal threw a blanket over it. The other one,
that one.
Yeah, the other one is just all the stuff inside the bags congealed together.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna light the bag up.
Okay, yeah, you throw the bag on the ground, light on fire. You see the one that's kind of screaming and popping and jostling around and kind of running into the corner of the wall and then rolling over on the floor. The flames start to die down, and when they die down, there's a curl of smoke, and it's now, instead of gray, it's red. There's a little spark that kind of comes out from it. Of the fire.
Oh, fuck.
A little bit more, there's a sort of a random gout of flame that kind of hits the wall.
Oh no.
I don't seem good at all.
It suddenly starts to tumble towards the door, leaving like little burning cinders behind it as it goes.
Is it big? Peach steps on it.
You step on it? Roll.
Yeah, like you'd step on an ash.
Yeah, roll.
I have to find it, sorry.
It's a 7. Plus a 1 and 8. Now, it seems to just, as you go to step on it, it rolls just past your foot. Boom, you hit the ground. And it makes a little dash for the door. It's about the size
There's
of
got
a
to be
cupcake.
a bucket of water.
About the size of a cupcake.
I'm gonna go to block it from leaving the door. Like,
What do you,
How fast is it moving? We all follow.
yeah,
it's
like
pretty fast.
kind of.
It's about the fastest person.
Who has the fire? Is it on fire currently?
It's kind of scalding the ground where it goes. It's about to make it out the door.
No, it is
is
not.
fire.
Ava grabs the bucket filled with sand and asbestos, and, which is perfect, and tries to throw it, pull the creature. She mentally just reaches out and tries to grab the creature and pull it away from the door, and then dump the bucket of stuff on top of it.
Okay, so a ray has moved between the creature and the door, blocking the way, and you reach out. Roll for me. Just give me a roll for how this is a new. Ava's never tried to do something quite like this before. So give me a roll for how good it is. Yeah, you try and you almost feel it. You almost feel it's almost like you're wrapping your hand around it, but it slips through your fingers. Makes a dash for the door. Araya, how are you going to stop it?
She's going to try to squish it with her foot, like
All
just stamp out this burning little cupcake of pudding.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you wearing shoes?
I don't think you guys would have taken the time to take off my shoes if I'm asleep from fainting with what sign? I am
Right,
wearing.
but do you have hooves?
No,
No, I've got
just-
feet. I got feet.
All right,
Oh,
make a stomping roll.
Stop. Ugh.
Lead back to the campfire.
15 on the die.
This is not her forte.
Okay, yeah, 15 on the die.
do square dance?
Pretty good, though, yeah. So you step on it, and there's a gout of flame that goes in every direction, singeing little embers floating in the air. When you lift up your boot, there's a gooey little... You got it.
I got it! No, we're good! We're good! Oh, I'm touching it. Is it, like, acidic in my boot?
Well, it's under your boot right now, but you can see that there's... The bottom of your boot's burned, and there's, like, embers kind of floating off of it.
All right, I'm swiping my foot on the ground. I'm like, okay.
Scrape it off with a smear.
Did some of it get away? Did any...
Well,
was it all congealed, like, from the
No.
entire room? There was the bag, and then there was the other one?
There's the floor one where it got away. Where does the hole in the floor go? And then there's the hole in the wall. And then there's one Kabeth was looking for.
The hole in the floor goes at the basement. The hole in the wall goes out to the alley.
Oh, no. Basement. Bring the fire.
The fire just made it turn into fire.
No, it hurt it. It hurt it.
It made it small and weak. Yeah, as soon as it gets down to like a cinder, you can snuff it right out.
Okay, I'll make... She
It
tries to make
did
more
not get smaller after you burned it, I should mention.
It seemed like the fire really helped, though.
Maybe it did, but it got a little bit bigger.
Guys, the basement is where the nuclear missiles are held. You gotta stop it.
Oh, I'm gonna rush down to the basement.
Yeah. Peach, Sal, make torches, and then she's going to run for the tomes, where pudding, they just looked up that information about pudding in the tome.
Okay, so you run for the tome, Ava's running for the basement. What's everyone else doing?
Well, obviously,
I know Ava said... All right. I know Ava said to make torches, but Sal's first instinct is to pull the mask off of Fennel.
Okay. No, I think he did pull it away and throw it on the ground, lit it on fire. So it's like...
Okay, just
he lit
check
it on fire.
Like, nudge him.
Yeah. Sal, you shake Fennel a little bit. You check his... Maybe you know to check his breathing. He's not breathing.
All right. And then he starts making torches.
What's everyone else doing?
I'm running through town screaming about horrible creatures from the tunnels and light torches! Horrible creatures from the tunnels! Little pudding things! They're gonna burn us all! Hide in your house! Oh god, wait, they can get through the door! Where's the mayor?
Okay. Peach, what are you doing?
Peach saw Sal come back from Fennel and start to work on torches. And she'll sort of emulate him in that. And she'll say, should we...
well, this is like seconds. I just want to know what he's immediately doing.
Should we get Ava, or is he...
One thing at a time.
Okay. Yeah, Array, you throw open the door to the basement. Run downstairs. And you can see there's a hole in the ceiling, a little bit of light shining down into it. The smell of herbs and all sorts of things in this room mixed together. Not really pleasant or unpleasant, just kind of overwhelmingly aromatic.
I'm gonna go to where it would have dropped directly through it. Like, I imagine it was like plop and then scoot and see if I can find any trace of it.
Yeah, you look on the ground. There's a little looks like some of the you see under it, and maybe there's a little bit of a like a acidic, like, kind of burn mark on the ground right under, but you don't see the blob. You don't see the thing.
Do I see like a scoot path from it?
Probably not. It has to sit for a second before it would burn something. It seems like
there's not like
it's not
well,
slimy
if it
and gelatinous
moves.
in like the dust of the basement.
Yeah, I'm like
leaving an
that's
oil
a good
slick.
question. Yeah, why don't you roll Array's ability to pick up on those sorts of trails and stuff like that.
Oh, hey. I imagine her like investigate, search vibes, not animal stuff. So take away the 4 if you're thinking it's animal tracking, because that's a no. Like investigate, I feel solid about.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. I think you see, you see a trail that leads over to, like a, I don't know what to call it. Not a bookshelf, but like supply, like big rack of supplies and stuff like that.
So she's gonna head straight to that, and I think she's like calling up through the hall. I think it's this over by this, and she's walking over there with her pudding stomping shoes. Yep, that's a great plan. I'm gonna just find it, and that's gonna be a start.
All right, upstairs. You guys have one improvised torch made. Very fast.
Is the physiker responded? This is where he lives, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a number of seconds. You're shouting upstairs,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Peach would take one look at Sal's bandaged ribs and ankle and say, "Hand me that torch. You can finish mine. I'm gonna go and help Araya."
Yep. He's probably flipped over a chair and busted off a few legs to make a few more faster by wrapping the top of them with bandages.
All right, sounds good. So you have one torch made that Peach is holding.
Yeah, Peach would start downstairs toward where Araya went after
Hey,
putting Alpha.
As she's heading that way, Ava says, "Grab a bucket." And there's one of those. There are 2 buckets in the rooms for fires in case any beaker starts catching things on fire. And she tells her to bring one of those.
Okay, sounds good. You get downstairs, Araya. You've moved away all of the extraneous things that are kind of, and there's a pile of like satchels, like canvas satchels that have things in there, and you realize it's probably in there.
All right, she's gonna like really quickly like pull the satchel away, like reveal this foul pudding.
You pull it away, and there it is. It kind of almost seems it jiggles in an alarmed thing, and it starts to dash.
She like she squeals. She's like, like it's a mouse,
yeah.
But also horrifying.
It suddenly changes directions. It goes right for you.
She's like with her, like holding her skirts, like feet kicking at it.
All right, roll a stomp.
Meh.
She should have advantage because she's done it before recently. Favored foe.
13. Do you have anything to add to that?
I don't feel like this is her thing.
Okay. You stomp on it. Clump. But Peach, you see it goes right past her. Right up from under her skirts, and it's going right for you.
She stomps.
Roll stomp.
You've got fire!
She still stomps.
You haven't lit that.
Stomping worked.
You haven't lit it yet. Roll it.
She currently has a bandage-wrapped stick.
Oh, that's a 2. It darts to the side. You missed it. It starts somehow kind of climbing its way up the stairs, going upstairs.
Peach chases after, swats at it with the torch.
You can't get it because the angles of the stairs. It's too hard. The torch isn't lit.
I don't know. She's trying to like swat it down with the torch, like hit it like you hit a cat off a shelf.
Ooh, but it is going upstairs?
It's going upstairs, yeah.
Yeah, so she's trying to knock it back down to where me and Ava are. Or me and Araya are.
Yeah, okay, give it a roll. An 8, yeah. You swat it, it sticks to the torch, and runs down the torch and goes up your arm.
Oh, much worse.
Araya!
She's coming over and she is going to.
It's going for your face.
I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna push it, swat it, smash it. I'm gonna smash it with my hands.
Roll to smack it off of her.
And Peach kind of like.
Oh no!
Douses herself with the sand.
All right. Yeah. So you pour the sand all over yourself. The dust and sand. It doesn't seem to like that actually. It like bails, jumps off of you.
Oh, thank God.
But now there's just dust filling up in the room. It's kind of hard to see through.
Is Peach hurt? Am I burnt? Do I have burns like Ava?
You realize that the cloth on your arm started to degrade a little bit, but it's not too bad. but there's a big plume of dust in the room now. You don't know where this thing is.
Araya, you just stepped on the last one?
Yes. Yes, but it was much smaller than my foot. Okay, so we're just gonna... Let's just stomp. If we can't see, we stomp.
All
Does
right.
the torch help? Is the torch not
Torch is
lit?
not
Is
lit.
it not like, can we light it?
I don't
What-
have that ability
Light it.
for a couple levels.
What do you light it with?
Oh, Peach probably has like a tinderbox on her person. I imagine she has one to like light
Get
people's
up
cigars
the
and
stairs.
things.
There's the candle upstairs.
That's fair. You can pull out
Bring
a
the candle.
tinderbox, or you get candles upstairs.
I'll try to use my own matches. A little tinder thing.
Yeah, you pull that out, start to fuss with it.
That's what she would go for first anyway.
Yeah. Sal downstairs, you just hear screaming and stomping.
Shit. And he's probably got maybe only one more stick ready.
Yep.
All right. He's limping down.
Ava?
Light it, Sal. Yeah, what'd you say, Chris? I'm sorry.
You were going for a tome, right? Yeah, you've got the tome that Tredian was going through.
Okay, she's gonna open it to the where he had left off when she had read that page just not that long ago.
Okay, yeah, you flip through, you get to the page, there's like little illustrations of puddings, and different descriptions of different colors and things like that.
Um,
And you can tell from a quick glance that different colors of puddings are associated with different flavors, but also different elements. There's some documentation, you're not sure how it's there, but you know that the red puddings, not only they seem to be aspected to fire, set things on fire just by contact, but they also taste like raspberry.
delicious. I'll note that for later. She will. Does it say anything about how to kill them, or like how to defend against them? Does it give any description of that?
Well, there's some documentation about one of the red ones that drowned it in water.
Okay, drowned water, fire, drowned water, whatever the opposite of it is. Okay. She's gonna, yeah, she'll go towards grab the candle, and try to join Sal with it, and it's like lighting his torch as she makes his way towards the basement. And then she's gonna run back and try to get a thing of water, and then follow after him and towards the basement, assuming he goes down.
I thought ours was like just black.
Gray. The one
Gray.
downstairs is gray.
Oh, okay, gray.
Oh.
The original one was also gray until it
Yeah.
was lit on fire. Oh, she remembers. I'll say this because I don't know if Jess was here. Ava remembers that when she had the conversation with him, he explained to her what it probably was, but also said that the one they had discovered was not in the tome, and it meant that it was either very old or a brand new one that had not been documented. I think that's what he said.
Let's say for ease, that information maybe got glossed over, so maybe doing that again in character would be a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to tell Sal as she's like rushing towards him to try to help him light his torch. Okay. From what I gleaned, apparently you do the opposite of whatever it is. So if it's fire, you do water, or whatever the opposite. But it's a gray one, and he said the gray one was new. I don't think there's any information on it. It's or very old, but we don't have any information.
Hopefully by the time they're done finding them, there won't be any information left on them.
Yeah. For some just out of character clarity, there's two of the colors that you've seen that are not described in the book. One is black, which is the one you saw in the caves, and gray is the one that Fennel vomited up.
Was gray described in the book?
No.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to repeat that essentially. I guess we found.
One more thing. I made a mistake earlier. I described the one that you shocked as yellow, but that would have been blue.
Got it. Okay. They seem to take on the element of whatever they're harmed with, and then doing the opposite of whatever it is seems to hurt it. But I don't know anything about a gray one or a black one or what to do.
Good enough for
Okay.
now. I'll burn it, you splash it, right? And then they head down the stairs, because you guys are downstairs, right?
Yeah, and Sal, you get down there to the sound of stomping, and you smell dust. You kind of walk into a cloud.
It's around here somewhere. Salinger, Ava, it's a burning one. It hurts like that acid.
Can we see anything through all this dust?
And it's just the room's filled with dust.
Also, they're human in a furbolg.
I have good vision.
You can't see through
Now.
dust.
Can't see their.
Better than most people.
Hell, dark vision. Nobody has dust vision. How long does it take for this dust to settle?
We should come
fine.
back to the top of the stairs, maybe, and just if the basement is underground, would there be anywhere for it to go?
You think? Roll. Give a roll for how familiar Ava might be with. Well, natural 20. Yeah, absolutely. There's at the edge of the room, the corner, there's some piping to where when there might be fumes or such things in the room that they're got a place to escape.
Okay. She remembers the piping and says, all right, everyone to the top of the stairs. Sal, come with me. And she's going to run towards the piping. And as they're running around, she's moving towards it. She's going to explain. There's some piping. I think if he gets into that, he could try to escape from the room. So there's only 2 exits, the top of the stairs and then through the pipes.
And you're moving towards the pipes?
Yeah, she's going to move towards the pipes. And
as soon as you disappear in the cloud of dust, I grabbed your shirt and I'm just kind of following you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. You get to the piping at the edge of the room, and you can see some disturbances kind of in the dust there. It looks like this thing already made it to the pipes.
Where do the pipes go?
Up into the alley.
Oh, fuck. It's already in the pipes.
Can Array and I hear that? And can we bail up?
Yeah, sure. You guys hear that, and we'll say you go running upstairs around the corner to where the pipes are.
Yep.
They come out into the alley, but there's no sign of it. It's gone.
It's at this point that she remembers the unconscious person that was laying on the ground and panics for a second and doesn't say anything as she runs back into the room to check on Fennel.
As soon as she starts to run, no, I'll let her do it. Never mind. I wouldn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, you run back. Kabeth, you're running through the streets, and just for convenience sake, you nearly run into Casey.
Oh my god! Oh, there's a thing, and it's jelly, and it's really bad, and it's hurting people, and we have to do something.
Whoa, slow down. What's going on?
Okay. So, Ava was doing some kind of experiment on blood, and this thing it started like burning stuff, and it's really bad, and it escaped, and I don't know where in town it went, and we have to tell somebody.
Charlotte, at the end of the alleyway, you catch a glimpse of Kabeth and Casey talking.
Charlotte spins around, and starts to head with a measured step toward the end of the alley, where Kabeth and Casey are. She's not making any attempt to be stealthy. And actually, depending on what people do, I think the first thing she would do on getting to the end of that, she's not listening to what Kabeth is saying, because Kabeth is always talking. So, the first thing she does is she cocks back a fist and then just punches Casey across the face, and then follows it up with a second one immediately.
Well, there's no time for that. Hang on. You can beat each other up later.
Roll unarmed.
You're not there.
I'm rolling to it.
That's an 18 and a 17 on the die. Seems good.
Seems good. Yeah, take him.
Shality, what? There's a crisis. You have to get back to the
How dare
visitor.
you pull my family into whatever things. And then, so what Kibeth says filters into her brain, and she spins around and says, what happened?
Emergency. Bad thing happening. Go back. Help Ava. I have to go find the mayor.
Shalati will take off at a run.
Yeah, Casey will hop up. He probably got knocked on his ass. He'll hop up and be right behind her.
Who's he following? Is he following? Because Kibeth would probably have given him a hand up.
Is Shalati going in the direction of the
visitor
trouble? Yeah, behind her.
It's just like when they were dating.
Man, dating Shalati was not like that. Ugh.
Okay.
Oh my god, I forgot that.
Okay.
I go off to find the mayor.
Yeah, Kibeth, you help Casey up, and then he takes off after Shalati, and they're headed that way. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it takes too. We'll say, but Shalati and Casey, by the time you reach the Fisker, everyone's. I guess you guys are still outside, kind of maybe discussing after this thing is slipped to grasp.
What's happened? He runs up and asks to whoever's.
Boom. Or wait, no, they're outside, right, in the alley. So
3 of us are outside. Ava just went inside.
One of those pudding things got away. It was in the basement, and it came out through the pipes. We don't know where it went. And there's the other one that got under the windowsill, and one got through the wall. So there are 3 of these things out there in town now.
They followed us back?
Killed Fennel.
Casey
Oh my
runs
god.
inside.
Shalati will start looking in the alley, trying to see if she can find any traces, like some kind of trail or something.
Wait, you gotta know how to stop them.
I think you see some.
She nods.
You see some initial burns and disturbances right where the pipe dumps out into the alley, but after just a few inches, there's nothing to follow.
We were able to kill one, hit it with fire, then hit it with water or sand or something to put out the fire. Apparently, there's different types of them, and these gray ones, well, he poked with fire and it caught on fire, so maybe they take on what you touch them with. I probably ought to travel in pairs. Try and find them before they get somebody else.
If it's out there, then this needs to be told to everyone.
Kibeth's running around already spreading the news.
She just said that there was trouble going on at the physical. She mentioned nothing of. I think she didn't say anything about pudding. I don't really remember.
I mean, you don't always
Probably
listen to
not.
Kibeth.
Yeah, right on cue. Kibeth, you run into the mayor's assistant. Let me give this person a thought 1 second. Yeah, they're an extraordinarily short, kind of plump. What's the race? The cat people.
Tabaxi.
Tabaxi. There we go. Yeah, a short, kind of plump Tabaxi. He looks at you.
Are we inside a building? Outside of a building?
No, you're probably outside. Whoa. What's going on?
I'm running so hard that as I stop to talk to him, I skid and leave marks on the ground, and I'm like, trouble, evil pudding things found in the tunnels, and it's gonna hurt people, and we have to warn everybody. They're coming from the Physiker.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'll go ring the bells. We'll get the sheriff. He goes
Okay,
running models off.
I'm going back to the Physiker.
Okay. Before too long, you start to hear the town bells ringing as you're headed back.
Yeah, Casey would run inside upon hearing the thing about fentanyl.
Yeah. Those of you who want to go back inside, yeah. Yeah, fentanyl seems unresponsive.
Yeah, Casey will run in and look down, kind of look at the chaos that was around.
You see a pole burned in the floor, another one burned in the wall.
He'll slide down real quick next to Fennel, kind of slap him on the face a little bit. Fennel.
Yeah.
Oh, Ava was already there treating him.
Yeah, we'll say Ava's there.
Oh, is she there?
Yeah, but we'll say Casey still does that.
Yeah, I'll slide down.
No response. And Ava, you've checked. There's no breathing, no pulse.
What's happened to him?
Sorry. Ava's there's the redness all around her eyes as she's frantically just sort of checking over different things, and she's sniffing. She's like, I don't know. And she, having attempted all of the different first aid that that she would know in order to try to do anything to bring someone back, she knows now that he's just gone, and she's just sort of like wiping the beginning of tears away from her face as she's talking. She says, I was running, I don't know, I was running tests, and he started convulsing, and then he got sick, and that thing came out of him.
Which way did it go?
It went down to the basement, and it went outside. It went every piece that he threw up. It became something like one of those things, and they went different directions.
He can't be gone. He kind of shakes him a little bit. Just fix him. And he gets up and runs downstairs.
Yeah. Casey goes downstairs, leaving you alone with Ava. Ava, as you were there over Fennel's body, it is years ago. You were just you were still pretty young, just starting your training back when the apprentice was still in town, and Tredian maybe even seems a little bit younger back then. Maybe he seemed almost a little more spry. It couldn't have been that long ago, though. You are, both of you, kneeling next to the body of one of the llamas that was sick. Spent the whole night trying to save it. And couldn't. As you're there next to the llama, still early in your training, there's almost a feeling of almost like as your hand's there on the still warm body of the llama, there's almost like a thread that you could take between your fingers. You could pull. You could bring it back. Never experienced that before. Tredian's there. Now he's kneeling next to you, writing notes. Well, it's a shame we couldn't save it.
Should I play the scene in the past or the
This
scene
is
in
the
the present?
past. This is the past.
Okay. Is she seeing him write notes, curious as to what this is, feels for that string and pulls on it ever so slightly, trying to understand what it is that she's sensing.
The llama jerks just a bit, makes a noise. It was dying. It was dead, wasn't it? It just happened moments ago. Now it's alive. Terradian's eyes widen, stops writing the notes, looks at you. Hey, Ava, what did you do?
I don't know. There was this string and I pulled, like, not a real one, but like.
Terradian reaches to his belt, takes a knife, slices the llama's throat.
What are you doing? Why did you do that?
No. Oh, gentle girl. Some things one does with the best of intentions. Steps upon a road. Go to a terrible place. You must never do that again. You must never tell anyone that you did that. Do you understand?
No. I don't understand.
What you have done is forbidden. It is the first stone on the road to a forbidden school of magic. Listen to me. You never tell anyone that you have done this. Do you understand me?
She nods and says nothing.
It's a shame I could not save the beast. Back in the present, you've been left in the room alone with Fennel. Casey's gone down the stairs.
Ooh, can I stop halfway down the stairs?
Charlotte? What?
Well,
I think Charlotte would have, on hearing that Fennel had died, and assuming that Ava is in there, I think Charlotte would have gone in to check on her.
Okay. We can do that. Let's say that there's this moment where Ava is alone with Fennel, though, but you're on your way in.
Does she remembers this memory, this recollection comes back to her, and she pauses and searches to see if once again she feels and senses that string, that thread.
You try to calm your breathing. There it is. He's not quite dead yet. He'll be dead in moments. But you could spare him if you wanted to.
She reaches out her hand tentatively and shakily towards this ethereal thread. With hesitation and trepidation, she starts to close her hand around it and then pulls it away without gripping anything and just grasps her mouth and just looks at him and says, "I'm sorry." And she just shakes her head and just says, "I'm sorry."
Casey, you're halfway down the stairs. You hear the door open. Charlotte, you're in the doorway upstairs. Casey, what were you saying?
I think it's past. He'll just, go down.
Charlotte immediately strides over to Ava and just like wraps her arm around her, pulling her into a and looks over her head at Fennel's body.
Yeah, Ava's crying pretty hard at this point.
Casey, you've gotten down into a dusty room. It's quiet.
Yeah, he looks up at the hole in the ceiling. He's pretty angry at this point. Like, Ava, when you saw him and he yelled at you, like, there's flames in his eyes. The magma lines were brighter than they typically are. And he's down there and he's like, where the hell are you? And he starts throwing boxes and whatever else is around down there, trying to find this creature thing.
Yeah, you guys start hearing the sound thumping and smash of a crate, maybe the breaking of some glass downstairs. There are footsteps on the stairs. Teredian, it's Kane. Yeah, coming down the stairs, wrapping a kind of a shawl around himself. What's all the commotion?
The basement or the middle room?
Middle room.
Shalati looks up, arm still around the sobbing Ava, and says, "It seems there was something that came back. They called it the pudding, and escaped, killed Fennel. I'm not very clear on all of it, but there are 3 small pieces of this pudding out in the town now."
Teredian, like adjusts his spectacles, kind of slowly starts taking in the scene. Oh my. I think I'll need to be addressed. I'll be back. Slowly walks up the stairs.
Orthoclase will run back up the stairs and turn to see Shalati and Ava and Fennel still on the ground. It's like, what are you waiting for? Save him.
Ava just cries a little bit harder into Shalati.
Ava, you have the strength. Just do it. I'm gonna go find those things. And he glances at Shalati and runs out the door.
I think it would make sense that I'm back by now, at least.
Mm-hmm. We'll see you come skating out right now.
Do I run into Casey running out the door?
Yeah.
I think my eyes just kind of go wide, and I look at you. Do you say anything to me as you pass me?
Probably not.
Yeah, then I'll walk past you through the door, and I'm like, kind of taking the scene, read the tone of the room. Any sign of the missing stuff? Pudding?
I think you'd best tell the mayor, or ask Salander to tell you what he told me about how to kill them.
Yeah. At this point, you can all hear the bells ringing.
They know about something happening, but yeah, someone who knows more than me should tell them what to do. I don't. I just raised the alarm.
Maybe start cleaning up around here then.
Where are Sal and Araya at this point, and Peach? I mean, Esmond, message me where you're going. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I see that.
Sorry, can I add one more thing? And Charlotte will add, and someone should go find Fennel's parents.
Shoot, I don't know where I would be.
think last we left off, you and me and Sal were like in the alley having just lost puddings. But wherever.
Okay, then I'd head back to the physicker. Told me to see. Really sad.
Okay. Ray's head back to the physicker. Peach and Sal, where are you guys going?
Sal, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and hunt these things down? I mean, I know Beth delivered some kind of message and the bells are ringing, but we can't just do nothing, right?
Sal rarely doesn't have something to say. But he doesn't even look up. He is just writing something in his little notepad.
Sal.
1 second. And he finishes writing a note and sticks it to the physicker's door with whatever he's got. Yeah. Find him if we can.
And you think that the way to get him is the fire and then the water, because we need to do the fire part first, for sure?
I have no idea. But they're not going to kill anybody else.
How can we be sure of that? That one of those things almost took me out in the basement.
Can't be sure of it, but I need to believe it. He says as he starts walking down the street towards the bells as fast as he can with his busted leg.
Yeah, no, Peach would like be under his like elbow over her shoulders as like a crutch, like helping him move more quickly.
Nice. Okay. Oh, sorry. I missed the very end of that. Where are you physically walking to?
I think... Oh, were you talking to us or someone?
Yeah, the two of you.
I think towards the town bells would make the most sense, where the most people are that could be attacked by these things.
Yeah, where we could tell more details and stuff too, and yeah, look out for the largest number of folks.
Okay, sounds good. Araya, you've gotten back into the physicker. You see Ava and Shao over Fennel. Casey, I think, is in the room, I believe.
No, Casey left.
Oh, Casey left, yeah.
But I'm sitting in the room.
Yeah.
I think I've just kind of plopped down in the corner.
Okay, yeah, Beth instead of Casey. Just as a note for Ellie, you, maybe because you're far away now, you get really quiet and I can't turn you up any louder.
Sorry. You were. Charlotte's probably led Ava over to a chair or a couch or something like that, and it's basically just doing like the they're there thing without actually saying they're there, just sort of patting her, like rubbing her on her back. When it seems like she's at least stopped her immediate crying, she's gonna get up and start putting things away and put on a pot of a kettle to make some tea and stuff.
Araya will go about just helping compose the poor boy's body, like the folding the hands over his chest and cleaning up his face, just doing these things that are very like if you watch her, it feels very like almost ceremonial, like she just goes through these processes of helping.
Yeah. So, Araya, as you move to begin to tend to the body, it is years ago. It's not the first time someone ill has come to the temple in order to spend their final days. Whoever this person was, you didn't know them, but they spent their last days there at the temple before their illness had gone too far to save. There's an older person wrapped in cloth on a slab of stone. A stream of sunlight coming through the ceiling and some stained glass. You're maybe 10 or 11 at this point. And Salois is dripping sacred oils onto the wrapped body, humming lightly.
She kneels next to Salois.
We are really but water from a stream. The rain, the mountain send us on our way, but in time we return to the water. You as well, my dear.
Is it scary to face that?
I think being afraid is part of being a person. But no, in the end, this water's a gentle place to be.
She nods and studies the motions and movements of Salois.
There are many who will look at you, my dear, and see something else, but in the end, you are water, the same as ours. And you have a purpose before we return to where we all go. And then you are back in the present over Fennel.
She says some of the prayers and the small chants that she's used to and that she's seen before. Some she said alongside Salois, and presses his hands over his chest and finds maybe some water that hadn't been used to douse a slime, and just gently cleans his face away of the ichor that might have just like be smeared up. Just simple, small things, and just tends to him.
I have an idea for something. Sorry, are you done?
Good.
Seeing Araya tend to the body seems to renew Ava just being upset. And she runs up the stairs towards the Physicker's loft where he returned to. And they're just maybe a moment, a flash of something within the tears where she seems angry as she's running up that direction.
Yeah, and say he's actually just finishing putting on his robes and starting to come down as you kind of run into him at the top of the flight of the stairs. Ooh. Slow down, girl. What's happened?
And I think he sees her in a state that he's never seen really her in. Not since maybe once or twice, Emily as a small child, and she kind of, with tears in her eyes, she shoves him just a little bit. And
What's happened? What has happened?
And she just says, still crying. She's like, killed him. I killed him. He's dead because of me, because of you.
Oh. Right. Puts a hand on your shoulder. Right. Calm down. No.
She slaps his hand away. She said, no.
Ava.
I could have saved him. But you said not to. It was there. I felt it.
Oh, Ava.
She pushes past him into whatever the equivalent of her room would be and runs away.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, Charlotte, Ava's stormed upstairs, and you maybe hear some muffled shouting upstairs. You and Arya left, I believe, alone in the room. Yeah.
Charlotte listens for a moment to hear if the shouting keeps going, or if it seems like
you hear a door slam.
She just nods to herself and then looks over at Araya. Gives her a pat on the shoulder as she passes by and says, "Thank you for tending to him." She kind of looks at his body and squares her shoulders. I will go to find his family. And she turns out and heads out.
Esmond. This would take longer, but let's say you you find Gilgain. He is at the old ruins, the sinkhole. There are other adults there. You see him scribbling some notes down, doing sketches. Glances over. Oh, Esmond.
Gilgain, sir, how are you today?
Troubled. How are you, lad?
Well, I don't know if I'd be telling the truth if I didn't say something similar.
Yes.
Have you, and he looks over into the chasm. Have you, discovered anything?
No, well, I'm constructing a scaffolding. Some of the dock workers had a look inside, and it's quite a discovery. Unfortunate circumstances. So dangerous. It's a good thing no one was hurt.
I mean, it was close. I don't know if anyone's been informed, but there is something down there, or there was something down there at least that we came across. We fended it off. Didn't harm any of us, not immediately.
Had some talk of something couldn't quite describe. Sounded like a shadow.
Yeah, I think Teridian called it a pudding. I can never tell if he's being fully serious or not, though.
It's upsettingly adorable.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so I guess you didn't know anything about this at all, huh?
Oh, that this was beneath. No. Much of those surrounding her has been surveyed, and you always think there's everything to be discovered. It's been discovered, and you never any surprises in this world.
I suppose. I don't want to keep you too long. I had a question, however. And how many other people are here besides Gilgain?
Like half a dozen.
Is there any place that they could go where they could cut visibility from the rest of the group?
Visibility? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a rise of old stones. They're nearby, just outside of the edge of the sinkhole that you could go behind.
Gillian, could I steal your attention for a short time? I wanted to bring something to your. I want to ask you about something, if I could.
Oh, of course, of course.
And lead him over to the outcropping of rocks that you mentioned.
What's on your mind, my boy?
It's about the announcement from the mayor yesterday, sir. About magic. I understand that the mayor was told that magic is gone, seemingly, and I went and spoke with Gretchen, one of the fabricators, and she said that she and the other fabricators seemingly have lost any abilities that they had.
Well, we don't have enough information to know that magic is gone, but we have been able to observe that the givers and the fabricators are no longer able to do that for which they have been trained.
Well, sir, I know that it's not... I know I haven't been trained as a giver or a fabricator, and I know that this is more innate than magic that is taught. However, and he'll hold out his left hand, and it will begin to crackle in the same lightning that he used against the pudding last night. Sir, I don't know what this means necessarily.
Is this when... You've never shown this to Gilligan before, is it?
I would think that he is aware of it. I mean, certainly it would have been... No, I think he would have told Gilligan about it. Especially in regard to, his missing hand.
Yeah, and so he says, there's a curiosity about your blood. It does not surprise me so much that the aspect of the sky manifests in you, my boy. Kind of pats you on the outside of your knee. He's real short.
I don't understand what would make this different. It's, while it may be innate, it's still magic in nature. It's still something that I am wishing to affect in the world, similar to what the givers and the fabricators do. Why is what I do different than what they do?
Good moment for a lesson then. What then? What would be your hypothesis upon these 3 observations?
Esmond looks absolutely befuddled
The magic.
at that.
What do we know? What do we know?
That magic is gone for certain people, or at least inaccessible, but not for all people.
Which people?
The givers and the fabricators.
I see, yes. So far we have observed that. And what's the third thing that we have observed?
That I do have access to magic.
Yes. That alone seems to be evidence that magic is not gone, as you perhaps had feared, but something is certainly happening, something worthy of study. And, admittedly, some amount of alarm.
If I still have access to my magic, it would you could reason then that other people have access to magic as well. Potentially other givers and fabricators. in that same logic could be potentially extended to items that have been imbued with magical properties. But what I can't understand is how or why. What could have caused the magic to no longer be accessible for some people, but still allow it to be maintained by others and potentially items themselves?
That is a fantastic question. In fact, we've concluded that, and the mayor agrees, Sheriff Hain will be sent to the nearby city in order to do some investigation and see what the state of their fabricators and givers are. We cannot overlook the fact that these events happened on the same day, within the same moments, in fact, as what happened in the sky. I suspect, I cannot know, but I suspect there is a connection.
Okay, should I mention this to any of the fabricators? Could I be of help if I still have access to my abilities?
Well, it's certainly possible, though I will say that the training the givers and the fabricators undertake takes many, many years, my boy. Even if you decide to go down the path to become a giver or a fabricator, it'd be many, many years of training before you would be ready. But if what is happening is widespread, you may be more needed than ever if you have such an interest in providing for the people. You have great potential and responsibilities.
Yeah, that's what, I keep hearing that. Okay, I won't take up any more of your time, Gilgain. Thank you, for talking with me.
Yes.
Be careful around here. That pudding creature seemed dangerous. We were able to fend it off, but it could come back, so just be at the ready. Make sure you and everyone else are at the ready.
Well, of course, there are these strapping young dock workers to keep me safe.
All right. Thank you, sir. And Esmond will gather himself and start heading back towards the village.
Keep that keen young mind, young man. Keep that keen mind. Travel safely. Right,
Yes, sir.
Back. Sal and Peach, you've reached the center of town. You can see that people are gathered there. You can see the mayor's assistant. I should probably mention, Esmond, you spotted the mayor at the other side of the sinkhole. He was there at the sinkhole.
Okay. Make note of that, but I have nothing to speak with him about.
Sure. Yeah, Sal and Peach, you see that the mayor's assistant there is talking to a group of people. The bells have stopped ringing, but a lot of people have gathered in the town. And the assistant says, and so we will want everyone to stay in early. Don't be out after dark.
Would Esmond have heard the bells from the ruins at any point, actually?
Ruins are too far.
All right, Sal, we're here. What do we do?
We give him information, at least. Best weapon we have. And then he's just gonna push right up through the crowd towards the assistant.
And I think it would be good if everyone, keep an extra candle lit in your homes tonight. And where is Sheriff Hain?
And Peach will kind of follow in Sal's wake.
Yeah, you guys arrive.
What is the assistant's name again? Please remind us.
Assistant's name.
Because we would You know, we know
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
everybody in town, right? Yeah.
Let's do assistant parsnip.
All right.
Parsnip, it's Peach and Sal. We those jelly things, we know more about them. Can we share with the crowd?
Oh, yes. Well, what have you discovered?
First, that if you come across them and you slice them in half, they will multiply, and then those will get bigger. So don't do anything with a slicing edge.
It's like a murmur that kind of goes out through the crowd. Wow. Okay.
The things they look like puddings, right, Sal?
Yeah. Puddings. That's what my physiker called them.
Okay, well, let's take all of the pudding that was being prepared for the
No.
festival.
No, it just looks like.
Not like food. They killed somebody.
What? The murmur goes through the crowd. What do you mean?
It's serious. Really serious.
If they touch you, it'll burn. And she'll kind of hold up her her arm with her sleeve has burned away. So just stay away if you can. And yeah, they are dangerous.
You hear someone else. Wait, who's dead?
Before I answer that, and if I see Peach about to answer, I'm going to look to see if I recognize anybody that would be friends or family with Fennel.
Not here currently, no. Well, friends. There's a lot of people who know who Fennel is, but like none of his immediate family are here. But everyone in the town almost would know who he is.
Then I would just say, we're going to notify person's family first.
Yeah, parsnips. Oh my.
But don't try to touch them. You're even. Look, I poked one with an unlit torch, and it went all over my up to my face, and they move fast and they spread. They're
okay. Listen.
They are dangerous.
I hate to ask this of you, young people, but you seem to be the most oriented. I need you to find Sheriff Hain. He needs to be here handling these things.
Sheriff Hain is on his way to the temple in pursuit of some folks that were getting up to some trouble in town. I don't know when he's going to be back, if it's today or tomorrow, so we're not going to be able to go to Sheriff Hain on this, Parsnip.
Well, we absolutely need his help. Listen, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. And I'll confer with the mayor. Everyone is going to stay in their homes. You're going to keep a candle lit tonight. But I hate to ask this of you, because this should be the sheriff's responsibility, but I need you to go get the sheriff and tell him to come to town, come back and deal with this. The girl, there's a girl who comes from the temple. She's here in town. She knows the way. I need you to go to the temple and get Sheriff Hain. There's no one else who can deal with this.
Salinger, remind me, in and out of character, where is Sheriff Hain and why?
The Rough Guts had very explicitly threatened Aurea, and one of the other Rough Guts that was a little bit more sympathetic to us warned us that they were headed to the temple after her.
Okay, but Ray's with us. Are they going to attack the temple if Aurea's not there?
Let me finish the last little bit. We sent Sheriff Hain to intercept them And that was yesterday? Yeah. Because
Well,
one night has passed, I believe.
Well, we didn't send him. He decided of his own accord that it would be best to try and intercept the rough guts.
Yeah, we mentioned what was going on.
It was either yesterday or the day before. I honestly can't remember which one.
I believe it was yesterday morning.
I know it was yesterday because we were running after him when
You're right.
Araya passed out on the trail.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I don't remember that because that was the hour of the day that I was absent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's wild playing this game in real time.
Yeah. Last thing, just for out of character knowledge, how long is the journey to the temple again?
2 days.
2 days journey. Okay.
I mean, even if Kibeth ran after him, I don't know if she could catch him and bring him back. That's another day.
There are 3 of these things in the town right now. They can
can't
hurt somebody
wait.
else, and you want us to run off to find one man that could take 2 more days when one person's already died in less than 24 hours.
The danger is precisely the matter at hand. Sheriff Hain is the protector of the town. He will know what to do. I'm not sure, but there's no alternative.
In the meantime, though, he can't teleport here.
No, we don't have a teleportation circle here at Shepherd's End. It is on our list of town improvements, but it is not. It is very difficult. However, we have a plan in place. Everyone will stay in their homes, but we need someone to bring back Sheriff Hain. Listen. There's so much I have to. There's so much I have to look after, and the mayor has to look after. But we need someone to go find the sheriff.
I'll go.
Oh, you're there?
I thought so. Am I not here?
Cool. No, you probably could run there.
Yeah, let's say you're there.
Yeah.
We
I'm
cannot
just hanging around in the shadow.
Listen. We can't have you going off by yourself. You should go as a group. There's a buddy system you could implement. I've heard it's very good.
No one is faster than me though. I can get to him fast. If I go with somebody else, it'll take longer.
But the entire point here is that there's danger. We can't put you at risk, young lady. You need to go together.
Who can catch me? No one can catch me.
It's fine, Parson. We'll figure it out. We'll go meet up with the rest of the senior class and we'll send a crew out. We'll figure this out, and in the meantime, we'll...
Okay, but listen, it's very important. You don't do anything that puts yourselves in danger. You just get the sheriff, and you just tell him to come to town because there's been an emergency.
Before he even realizes he's done it, Sal's grabbed Parsnip by the shirt and just says...
Challenge!
Listen, we'll take care of it, you coward. Do we have a horse or horses that we can use, at least something of value?
One of the townspeople is like, oh, my horse, you can borrow my horse.
Right. He lets him go and walks to that voice. He
Parsnip kind of falls down.
Peach blushes and tails after Sal.
Can Charlotte have, since she was out looking for Fennel's family and heard the bell ringing, can she have gone over to that area to check and see if his family is there?
If you want to be in the scene, you could. I was going to have you get to their house, but if you want to be here instead, you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think she would have thought that most people would go over to the bells once they're ringing.
Okay, yeah, we'll say you start to arrive.
Oh, okay. I was hoping I could have heard that bit with Parsnip.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
She's been standing sort of at the back, like her scanning over the crowd, just trying to see. Only half paying attention to what's being said as she's looking for Fennel's family. But slowly, over this period of time, her attention has gone from looking at people's faces to looking over at Parsnip, and then looking at the rest of the crowd as her brow is furrowing. And she steps forward for a second and says, "The sheriff." I can't remember who's on it. Oh, I think it was
Sheriff Hain.
What? No. What they said was right though. The sheriff is only one man. Many of us are adults or near adults here. One of us killed a little bit of it just by ourselves. We are not helpless. The sheriff is at best 2 days away. If someone runs to get him now,
Yeah, at this point,
do
people
this.
have helped Parsnip up off the ground. And... Keep going, sir.
We can do this if we stay in pairs, and there was something else that one of them had said they found out how to help kill it from one of the books that Physical Teredian had. If we stay awake and we keep an eye out, it moves fast, but it's not faster than one of us running. It is sly, but there are many clever people here. We have fire, we have water. Some of us have lighting. And rocks. Wait, actually, well, no. Some of us have rocks at least, and we can stomp it, and we can take care of it ourselves without having to wait on one man who has probably never even seen this.
Yeah.
We are the best equipped ones right now to take care of it.
Yeah, Parsnip is they've helped him up. He's kind of ruffled. Sheriff Hayne is the one trained to deal with these things. He has a sword.
There is no training for this. This is something new.
Yeah,
And we just told you a sword makes him split into multiple slimes.
Let me have each of you. Let me have Shalati roll basically a persuasion check.
I mean, I'll talk to him though. You should all roll it.
That was a 4.
No, I think
I wouldn't call what I did persuasive.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
should
kind
roll
of persuasion. It's persuasion to the extreme.
it's a 4 on the die. Okay. Parsnip says, I understand that you're upset. I understand that you're mad and you're scared. But we cannot, in good conscience, be putting anyone in danger. You need to stay in your homes until we can find the sheriff. I understand that you want to take this in your own hands, but that's not how we do things. The sheriff and his deputies are responsible.
How we do things is as a community. We work together. We don't wait for someone to save us. We feed each other. We work together on the boats. Do you think the sea is not dangerous when the fishers grow out on it every day?
You're not talking about fish. You've told me there is something dangerous in the town, and there is no one more prepared to deal with this than our brave sheriff.
No. Because he has a sword? Listen to her.
Our sheriff is brave, but he is one man and we are many.
Now you listen to me. You stay in your homes tonight. Stay in your homes.
You're welcome to stay in your home. Does he have a title, or do we just call him, like, Sir or whatever?
Parsnip.
Yeah, Parsnip. Everyone knows who Parsnip is.
Master Parsnip, you are welcome to stay in your home. But I will be doing my part to hunt this down. And then she turns around and starts to walk towards where she thinks Fennel's family lives. I assume they kind of all know each other.
And there's fake shouting trailing after you in the background. This kind of is rocking.
If Peach can grab Shalati before she fully leaves and have.
Can I say something to Parsnip before you start another conversation, please? Yeah, I look at Parsnip in the eyes and I say, "They go through walls." And I turn around and I stomp off too.
Briefly before Shalati leaves, Peach has Shalati and Sal nearby. And you both intimidated that man. Do not pick him up by his clothing. You two are both very strong individuals. That is a terrifying thing to do. Do not do that to other people. And then I imagine she continues till Shalati leaves.
No.
I did not touch it.
Probably by this point, Sal, one of the farmers, we'll say for some reason his horse was there being shoed. He says, and pats the horse. Here. Just bring it back safe.
You're a good man. Thank you.
Hey, buddy system, right, Sal?
Obviously, I'd rather we have more buddies if they're We need to talk to everybody else. At least real quick.
All right, sounds good. Where's Casey? What's Casey doing?
Yeah. So Casey passed Gabeth on the way out of the doctor's place pretty rapidly and like got to the side and went around the corner where the hole was in the wall of where that slime escaped. And he kind of skids to a stop over there and takes a deep breath, and he kind of dims a little bit and just says, "Mustn't lose yourself. Focus." And this calmness comes over him, and he looks at the hole and looks at the ground, and says, "You're not getting away." And he will try to find out where the slime thing went.
Through what means?
His eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Does he have a direction?
So, you're in the middle room of the Physiker above the hole that dropped down into the basement? Or you're in the basement looking up?
No, Casey had gone back upstairs, went outside, and went around to the hole of the one that burrowed through the wall.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see where it burned through the wood in the stone there. And maybe there's a little bit of a burn in the grass just beneath that. But from there, there's not any particular sign of where it had gone. You look for the way that you might track an animal or something like that, but you don't see anything to follow.
Yeah. He'll circle the building and then move to the building on the same side as the hole and circle that one and keep searching.
Okay. So Casey's hunting for this thing. Okay.
He's hunting slimes.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think by that point, Teredian's come downstairs, Aurea. He says, let's get the boy onto the table. It might help me.
She'll help him. Yeah, as gracefully as possible, like with care, respect for the poor kid.
Yeah. And he's not too much younger than all of you. You lift him up, and Teredian's pretty old and weak, but together you're able to get him up kind of onto the table. You've got him wrapped in the cloth, as you'd already done. Teredian kind of gently with a clawed hand kind of pats Fennel. Tragedy.
He was fine. Whatever you had done had worked, and then it was as if it had been inside him the whole time. How can we ever... If these puddings are all over town and they get inside someone else, are they just dead? Or is there something we can do?
This is deeply troubling. I'll have to. Listen, Ava's very upset. Can you speak with her? I'll take some notes and begin research. If there is some way to prevent this, we will find it.
I'll talk to her.
So Aurea's familiar with where
Ava's room is, I imagine.
Maybe. I don't know.
You
Well-
tell me, Patrick.
Hell no, find your way there.
Yeah, Turdane says, upstairs, in the room at the end of the hall.
She heads towards your room and just has a gentle knock at the door. Ava, it's Araya.
I don't think you hear much of a response. I think you get the sense that someone's inside and maybe you can hear some small noises, but she doesn't immediately respond.
Can I come in?
You hear some muffled crying, but you don't really get a verbal response.
She sort of opens the door just a little bit. Is this okay? You shouldn't be alone right now.
Ava's going to... She tries to speak. You don't hear anything for a response, but you hear raspy kind of breaths of intake, followed by long pauses of no breathing, and then a rapid exhale, and then a kind of intake, holding, and then letting it go out. And then after this happens a few times, you get a weak response of hearing feet sort of touch the floor and start moving their way towards the door. She pulls it open, and her eyes are still just completely red and a little bit puffy. And she just kind of like looks at you for a second and then just sort of goes back and sits back on her bed, opening the door enough for you to come in.
She quietly shuts the door and follows Ava to sit next to her bed. You did everything you could to help. There was...
Oh no, she starts bawling as soon as you say that.
Ava. He was fine. Whatever you had done had worked, and the thing that crawled out of him is why.
As she's sort of crying, she leans and puts her face into sort of your shoulder. And the only thing she's saying in response as she's crying is, "I'm sorry," over and over.
Araya, puts her arm around her and holds her a lot closer. Ava. And she just, pats her back. Is just honestly just trying to comfort her. This is... Ava, you did everything. And I'm just...
She shouts at you, surprisingly. She says, "I didn't," and she pushes herself away. "I didn't." She stands up, she throws her hands in a fist, balled fist by her side. She says, "I didn't do everything that I could.
What
I
else?
didn't."
What else? You could have predicted that this would have happened. He was fine. Until he wasn't.
She's just shaking her head. And then she just says, and she starts getting worked up again. And then super angry, it seems like, and then just says, "I could have brought him back," and then breaks again and starts crying and covers her face and then sort of walks away. So she's just a couple steps away, facing away from you and crying. And then she repeats it once as she's sobbing, "I could have brought him back."
Now, would Araya be familiar with, anything? Well, I mean...
You're certainly aware of the concept, absolutely.
Well, brought him back, but... You mean, just healed him?
She kind of... tries to do the breathing thing again, trying to compose herself, and then she gets settled just enough, wipes her face, she turns back around. She's missed a small bit of snot on her face. She sort of sniffs, and she shakes her head. She says, I don't know. No, something else, maybe? He wasn't all gone.
But he wasn't breathing. And his heart wasn't beating.
Something is still there.
His soul?
I don't know. But it's enough. It's enough to bring something back. But you're not supposed to. She sort of like looks down resentfully at the floor. And I don't know. You can't. And it's so stupid. And I should have brought him back.
Well, I wish we could bring everyone back, but it's not the way. It's not.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I did it before.
Did it? What happened?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing. I should go downstairs.
No,
I'm sure they need help.
No. You deserve to rest a minute and process this. It's more than just losing somebody that you've known, but it's you were there, you were helping. Oh, I think he's gone. Discord does this too.
Ava leaps out the window.
And she passes out.
She breaks down even harder.
No, Patrick had been summoned back to jury duty.
Ava
Instantaneous thing.
No, let's go really dark. Ava begins convulsing.
The only method of teleportation has been made for jury duty.
God.
Sorry, I have no idea what happened. Everything just clicked off.
Mine does it.
What was the last thing you
mine does
heard?
it every time.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
What was the last thing that you heard?
No, you were helping. You lost your patient. You lost somebody. I guess at the temple, a lot of people go there to die. It's as much of healing to be there when someone passes, but it's not something small. It's not something you can just shrug off, and it's okay to take a moment. And I think if it helps, it's even better to try to think about how to stop it from happening again.
You're right. And it's not going to happen again.
No, we'll find a way to help so that, heaven forbid, somebody else is poisoned like he was. That it won't be the same results. I mean, no one knew what this was. No one knew this was going to happen. There's no way you could have prevented. But maybe...
No, you're right. I'm okay. I'm okay. We can go. I thank you. Actually, you helped, and I know I'll need more time later, but I'm okay now. And you helped me think. So let's go down and with the others. And if you could just make sure the body's covered.
Yeah, we've taken care of him. Do you want to maybe stay up here until his parents come to get him, or do you want to be there to say goodbye?
No,
it might help.
I don't want to, because I don't want one of those things to get on me again. And she looks at her hand. I want to be with people.
Okay.
and out of character, what does her hand look like?
Yeah, no, there's a...
Oh, you were super burned, right?
Yeah, 1 second, I gotta come back in, Chris, I can't
can
Yeah,
none of
Chris,
you
you're not
guys hear me?
pinging.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Not to any of us.
Oh, okay, it wasn't just
Okay.
So how is Ava's hand?
Yeah, you have a burn on your palm. That's noticeable, sore, tender. It probably naturally would take some time to heal. Magical means might make that a little faster.
Yeah, you see her examining her hand and probably see the burn. She's not making any attempt to hide.
Oh. You were very helpful in general, though. You could do a lot more in an emergency than I could, but can I see your hand right now? I could do just a little help.
Yeah, she nods and extends her hand.
She gently holds it in her hand, one hand under and one hand over, murmuring just a soft little prayer. Hopefully just like a painkiller equivalent, but
She sniffs and smiles at you slightly and says, maybe at some point you can try to show me how you can do that, and I'll show you more sciencey stuff.
I still never got to see my chart. Do you still have it from when I was asleep?
It's downstairs.
Ava, you're wonderful at this. It's almost like you're a natural at this. It's an impossible situation to have asked somebody not even yet an adult to have saved a life. Something that no one's seen. Ava, you're wonderful. She just squeezes her hand, the bottom of her hand, not the burns top of her hand, just gently.
Yeah, she tears up a little bit again, but she smiles faintly and just sort of nods and looks away.
Apparently, I'm very good with healing hands today, and that's about it.
Okay. So we have... I know Shalati was going to meet with Fennel's parents. Where was everyone else going at that point?
I'm looking for Esmond.
Esmond's returning to town from the ruins.
Okay, so that's good. Peach and Sour headed back with the horse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walking a horse to the Physiker.
Okay, I want to do this then. Shalati, you have already met with Fennel's parents. We'll go back to that in a flashback later. Ava and Aurea begin to come downstairs, and all the people who want to be in the scene are gathered there in the Physiker.
I do not want to be in there because it's scary music. Just kidding.
Outside, there's a horse tied up and waiting. Everyone who wants to be in the scene is in the Physiker's main room. Teredian's there. I think he's got his spectacles on. He's writing in books and looking through tomes.
So Parsnip was no help at all. He spread the word, but he wants us to just go and get the sheriff. He doesn't want us to take any kind of action.
Shower. I thought better of him.
Chris, before we get too far into it, would Esmond have had time to inspect and get a breakdown the situation that occurred with Fennel and the pudding and everything?
Yeah, we can say you at least have the basic information so you know what happened, at least in terms of events. There may be some additional details you can ask for if you want to bring some elaboration to things.
Okay. All right, I need clarification. So the gray puddings were able to burn through the wooden floor and escape into the pipes. They came out of when you touched them with the fire, they gained attributes similar to fire, and you confirmed in one of the tomes that you might be able to put it out with water. We can also stomp it out, apparently. Where did it come from? That's the only thing I don't fully understand.
It came out of fennel. At least some of it did.
From his blood or
He puked it up. It was coming out of his mouth.
He got sick and started convulsing when I ran a test on his fluids.
Ava? And Peach is pale. Very, her voice is kind of low, high pitched, though. Ava, if the thing touched, am I gonna end up like Fennel? That it was on me for, or you touching your hand? Is it like?
I don't know.
Did you feel it enter into your body at all through your mouth or your nostrils or any open orifices?
No, but it did go from my face in the cave.
It did. Okay.
Me
all right.
too.
Okay. So okay. I think we might be able to work with that. So we may be able to. I think we can assume that whatever this thing is, it can only enter in through people's bodies through open orifices. It can't just touch you and enter into your body, at least not through just a moment of contact. Or at the very least, if it makes direct contact with your skin, it looks as though it harms you more so than it tries to enter into you. So, based on that information, and can...
It also grabs and spreads. It climbed up my arm in less than a second.
It can also clearly, without an element of fire attached to it, can also burn through wood and move through metal very easily. Parsnip is wrong. We need to... Maybe the sheriff can help, I don't know, but in the time it would take for anyone to go and retrieve him, it would be too late. More people could die.
That is what I said. More eyes. The sheriff is only one eye with one set of eyes. If everyone keeps a watch out for it, and it has information on how to handle it, I can't see how that would be worse than just sitting mute up in our homes.
No, and I think you're right. I think, okay, it can move through pipes. It can squeeze through tiny spaces. It can burn through wood. It can be affected by any elements introduced to it. I think that okay, I think that the smartest play would be to have everyone move into the hearth tonight. We light up the entire area, and we have people on guard duty throughout the evening to keep an eye out for anything that approaches, and as soon as anything comes into our line of sight, that's when we handle it.
It's all well and good, but how are you going to get everyone else to agree to that? And we cannot leave people who don't come out to fend for themselves.
I mean, Fennel's dead. Come on out and help us defeat the thing that killed the boy.
We we might know one more thing. It doesn't seem to like the light as much. It was in a cave, and it went for the basement. Maybe that's a stretch, but I think that it doesn't like the light as much as it likes the dark. Most things in caves do, right?
What
Either
we
we're
ought
more
to
like.
do is go down into the dark where it came from, find the rest of it, and burn them to pieces. Not just wait for them to come after us in our town.
Wait, but when you affected one small part of it, that's when it responded. Maybe it's still connected. Do you still have anything left on the table? Or in your experiments?
I think it's all only the stuff that's dead, I think.
What underground things do we have besides, people's cellars? Is there like a sewer system?
No, there's nothing really expansive in terms of underground things, but a lot of people's homes do have basements. There are a couple wells.
I think if we use this information, maybe we can tell everyone that it does not like light. So to light it, if they will not come to the hearth, they should at least light up their homes and their cellars very well, so that there is no shadow for it to hide in. And then we leave some areas poorly lit and some people in there to draw it out. Only volunteers, of course. I will be one.
I can probably rope some of my siblings into helping. And I think that they'll all want to sleep somewhere bright and together.
How is the best way to kill him, though? Right, fire, water, and then crush him.
Well, what if the fire and the water are making the gray one? What if it's better to just crush it?
It ate through stone and ate through wood. Have we seen it eat through metal?
Has it eaten through stone?
Yeah, it went out into the and through the wall, the physical.
Did
Oh,
it
I
go
thought the
through
wall was wood.
Wood and stone.
What about glass? We had the jar. It didn't.
Well, it didn't
through the
go.
jar.
It didn't go through my hand, but it did go through the wood. Maybe it's just because that was path of least resistance.
No, but we had it trapped in the jar, the glass jar, and it went through the wall instead. Maybe
That's true.
glass.
It didn't seem to burn the glass.
But you cannot hit. You cannot hit things with glass. But we have many forges and many hammers. That might be the best way to hit it.
Well, as a secondary method to trap it in glass without a metal lid. If there's a glass cap, maybe that at least can contain it until we can bring it somewhere to burn it or smash it. Or
Well, if we're in a position to catch it, we're better off just trying to destroy it right then and there. So we have. Here's what we have. We have a couple options to work with. One, we try to convince the whole town to move to the hearth for the night so that we can all keep guard of one another. Destroy it if it comes towards the hearth at all. Two, we notify the town to have everyone light up their homes while a select group goes hunting for the night. 3, we try to call it out ourselves tonight.
I've got one more. The symptoms. They weren't down in the caves for too long before Fennel was attacked, apparently. And he got sick and became unconscious and seemed like he had a fever. And when he woke up, he couldn't remember what had happened. If we have people monitor those symptoms with each other, then maybe we can help to prevent someone from getting infected or whatever and not knowing about it until it's too late.
I don't know if that's feasible. I don't know if we can prevent anyone from. I feel like that as soon as this thing is inside your body, that's it. The only thing I can't comprehend is why it's moving into. Maybe it's searching for warmth.
Maybe it is mating season. Or better thing season.
The door slings open wide and slams into the wall. Casey's standing in the doorway. I'm going back to the ruins to flush them out, take care of them. Who's with me?
We don't know that's where it's going yet.
Didn't follow us out of there. And that's where they live.
Don't you think you've done enough damage?
Casey, what if you come across a whole nest of those things? What if there are hundreds? What if there's, one as big as the sea?
They're living right underneath our town. What are we supposed to do? Just leave them there?
No one's saying that we leave it there. We need to be smart about this. We can't just go charging in. We have to come up with a plan and an alternative plan and an alternative plan to the alternative plan. We need options available to us. We need to be smart about this.
We don't need that many, but we do need to take care of the people in the town first. And what we know is that there probably are some more in the ruins, but there is one here now.
One that could have split into more by now. I'm with Casey on this one.
I think
Where
he
they
might
come
be.
from.
I think Casey might be right. Think about what would have happened if Fentanyl seemed fine. What if he went home and then he went to sleep and all his family was to sleep with him?
Well, that could be happening now. We don't know where those other things went. They're in town somewhere.
So you want to go off and leave the town alone?
No, I can't go back down there, I don't think.
We may not have to go back down there. I think we have a way to close off those ruins. Just need to swing by the dwarves first.
Alright, I'm not with Casey anymore if he's playing with dynamite.
I'm not with Casey if he's going with dwarves.
They're as far away as the sheriff.
Exactly.
I'll take him the message, I guess.
Well, that's definitely leaving the town.
That's 4 days at least.
No, not
3 now, but
you misunderstand. Not meeting the dwarves themselves, just
there might be dynamite hidden in their part of the village.
Dynamite is what started all of this.
no ruins underneath our town that everyone ignored and let these creatures live and breed is what started all this.
They did not come out until that hole was opened. And what opened that hole?
What opened that hole?
You did.
All the more reason he should solve the problem that he helped make.
No, let's not. Okay, no, this isn't
It was
about.
just a matter of time before the earthquakes did what I did.
No, that's okay. No, we're getting off track. This is not about trying to redeem for any qualms between us. This is about trying to protect the village, to protect
You're
our
right.
people.
There's nothing to redeem. There's a problem now.
Correct. So we be smart about this. We need to determine what the best strategy is for resolving this. We need to determine if your theory is correct. Oh, if this pudding is returning to the ruins that we originally found them in. And if so, then perhaps the best strategy is to close the chasm, in which case we have to be very smart about it. Otherwise, we need to find this thing tonight and stop it before it can harm anyone else.
I think we should find it. And if finding it leads us to the ruins, then maybe that's a different question and a different solution. But I also worry that the ruins might be the only insight we might have to the jewelry, to the cursed stuff.
That was a
Why
different
would they be
spot.
linked?
They're of Duragar make.
The ruins are not.
Well, what's underneath what the dwarves have been trying to close up and block, where they found the weapons, where they found the jewelry, was deep in the mountains, deep where all...
You think they're
Were they
connected?
in
I think they're connected.
Were they in the same area?
Well,
They're
not in
all
relationship to
underground. They're all underground.
Yeah, I can see
It's
that.
just related. It's not the same location in terms of relationship to the town. There's nothing to prove or deny that the places are not connected.
I mean, like, are they in? They're not in the same general direction.
Not in relationship to the town. There's nothing to confirm nor deny that they're connected underground. There's no information about that.
I'm just saying they're both underground.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This feels undergroundist.
It's dirty work.
I think that these kinds of creatures are what the dwarves are trying to block off. Maybe what they'd been working. Well, it makes sense. They were telling us there were horrible things underground, and lo and behold, horrible things underground.
Didn't they have descriptions of the things and they had like horns and tails?
Oh, they were
Yes.
talking about demons. They were talking about actual demons. But they
Underground.
also... Yes. But they said that there were creatures, not just demons. Demons were...
Demons are probably a creature to them.
Yeah, well... Do you think it was just? I mean, they didn't say that
I mean,
they had
I don't
seen
think Shalati
demons.
knows any of this anyway, so this is kind of academic. This is out of character. Cool.
Oh, okay. Araya's like, demons is like a long time ago thing. And they were talking about something that they had seen more recently, and I didn't assume that it was demons, but rather...
They were describing you, right?
I just happen to resemble demons. I take offense to that.
They said you didn't even have feet. But you had hooves.
I have feet! You've seen my feet!
I know. I'm messing with you.
Whoa there.
No, hey, those dwarves mean to anybody who wasn't a dwarf. Don't worry about it.
I'm just saying we should find this thing. We should look for it now. When I went to the basement where I found it, it had burrowed itself hiding in the sacks of stuff. And it was hiding behind all of that. It may have been happy to stay there safe. So it might look for someplace safe and that's down and safe and dark. Maybe. So maybe we can help and check everybody's basement or...
I've searched. There's no way we're going to find one of those things in the town. The only option is going to where we know they are.
You are one person. If we have multiple source parties going through the cellars one by one, you light them up, you look through it. If one is empty, then you keep it lit, and then you go to the next one. How many people are in the town?
Like 300-ish.
There are, if you count out the elderly and the children, at least 100 of us that could do this.
It's almost all elderly and children.
There are at least 20 of us that can do this.
It's a waste of time.
At least 8.
DM, did you... Esmond wasn't around for this, but out of character, when you said that the puddings were first emerging out of fennel, they came out in smaller bits and larger bits and stuff. Did they all join up into one larger pudding at any point?
Yeah, that's precisely what happened. He vomited up a bunch of like gray bile, and then it all congealed together into one little lump.
I think we need to work under the assumption that it's trying to join up with other portions of itself. Potentially, it's hard to say because the gray bile is different from the black that we saw last night, and then when I hit it with my lightning last night, it split off into a black and a blue one. This doesn't make any sense.
Well, what if this is exactly how it multiplies?
And what if we can pull it back together? We can do. Who all was suggesting? It wasn't my idea that we like have set traps of darkness and everything else as well. Was that?
That was what I said.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shalati, that. Yeah. I think that great. Maybe they'll all come together because they want to coalesce or whatever they may be, and we could trap them there. I don't think though, Casey, going to find them at the source is a great idea when there's still one in the village. We need to deal with this present danger first.
It's looking for dark spaces and warm bodies, or it at least seems to infect warm bodies. It could potentially be able to infect animals and other creatures as well, not just living, thinking individuals like the townsfolk.
People.
It's just you say that. There's a shattering of glass. You look over towards the sound. There's a beaker on the ground next to Araya that's broken. To your surprise, and to hers, you see her tail swishing back and forth.
Wait, my tail! It's just like
Yep.
doing shit. Sorry, I must be agitated. She like,
Since when did you have?
I've always had. It's impolite to ask.
That's where we'll end for tonight. Got a little.
I've always had.
This is fantastic and terrible, and I both appreciate and resent you in equal measure, Chris.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
I
like
got-
fucking like Stranger Things creepy now.
I got-
It's
I
like,
got-
shit, dread.
I got a stinger for you guys. You want a stinger?
Wait, we just lost Patrick.
Oh no. Come
Oh,
back.
Patrick's back. Patrick, we have a stinger.
Got a stinger for you.
Spanish for necromancy.
Bees swoop down on everyone.
Bees. Right.
Okay.
Sally the baker. She's made honeyed rolls 1,000 times. Reaches out, grabs a clump of dough with her flour-covered hands, dips it in the flour, rolls it around for a little bit, sets it on the tray, exactly the same size as the others. Reaches out, grabs a handful of dough, puts it in the flour, wraps it around, swishes around her hand, puts it on the tray. Does this again and again and again. Hum a little song to herself that she always does. She's just about to take him, put him take him to the oven. She pauses and she looks, squints a little closer. One of the balls of dough covered in flour starts to jiggle. All right, that's where we'll end.
No.
And then she puts it in the oven and it kills it, right?
She shrugs
the
and
oven.
shoves it in the
Turns
oven.
into fire and
It's
it
like
rolls
middle
to
style.
the top.
Yeah, she's the baker for a public school. She just nonchalantly shrugs and sticks it in the oven like, meh.
Cranks it up to 400. There you go.
Actually,
That was
all I was seeing when you mentioned putting out the dough was Sen playing fiddle, doing the baking minigame.
This dough's really fresh.
Great session. I have to go to bed. Good night, everybody. See you soon.
Bye,
Yeah.
Allie. Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Good job, guys. No one died.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Was it
almost.
though?